たったしさ仕方ないか春を運ぶ風はまだ冷たくて僕の上着
お金とかビジネスとか効率とかそういうことをこれから考えなくちゃいけないんだ。そうでしょ。だって学校なんかじゃ責任感とか団体行動だとかありもしない意味もない将来のためとか言って教えてくるじゃん。あるべき人間の姿へ正しい人間の姿へ。そう思えばなんだか人間全てが汚く思えてくるな。仮想世界とか妄想だとかそういうものこそ美しくなる。ああなんだこの感情は人間らしくない私だ。寂しいとか愛しいとかそんな言葉では表せない不可解な未観測上に名前のない花のような優に咲き乱れるこの午後がやりたいことすらできなくて身動きすら取れない錆びれた心臓に咲いた不安定な未完成宣言言葉じゃ表せない現実や社会に歯向かうための未覚醒の不完全な魔法
Testing 1, 2, 3. It looks like this is working. Thank you all for joining me. I don't know if that 90 number is accurate, but if it is, thank you for the 90 people who are watching this. It is Tuesday. Just finished my work and making lunch and eating it. So now I am here. We're going to be streaming Snowbreak like I have been for the past several days. Is it just me, or am I looking blurry? I look blurry as fuck. Give me a second. Give me just a moment. Why do I look so blurry? Let's see. Virtual background, auto frame, noise removal. Reduces video noise typically found in low light situations. Eye contact, that's actually super creepy. I don't know how many of you have seen like the eye contact thing, but it somehow makes your eyes look like you're looking at the camera even when you're not. And when you're looking away and it's still looking, it's creepy as fuck. So none of these are what I want to do. I just don't think that looks good though. Deactivate that really quick and reactivate it and see if that does anything. Oh, there we go. Oh, that looks so much better. Now that I've got that done, welcome to my stream. We're going to get started right into Snowbreak. I will say this has been a fun game. I think I say this every stream, but it is. It's not a good game, but it's a fun game. And I think that's more important than a game actually being like legitimately like really good. I know that sounds weird. Like, Brandon, it's not a good game. Why? How can it be fun? I think sometimes bad games are just fun. No lie. Hope your guys' week is starting off well as well. I have been freaking busy getting my books and everything ready. I have the last volume of Vidergabort, Legend of the Reincarnated Warrior coming out next month. Normally it would be coming out in October, but it's the last volume, and I want to make sure it's done right, so it's coming out later, just because I need that extra time. So let's see what we got going on here.
Woo.
So,
Yay.
quick reference for everybody who has not seen me play this. This game, when you start, like I only started a while ago, last week I want to say, but it starts you off right in chapter 14, part 2. Not even just chapter 14, chapter 14, part 2. I am literally missing the first half of chapter 14. I have not played it. I have no idea what's going on. In order to play from the first chapter, I need to unlock this legacy ability, which I can't unlock until I've completed all chapters of Shuojo 2 and Philosia's story, which is this one right here. So I have to get all of this, and then I think this, in order to actually play from the beginning, which is frustrating, to say the least. Very frustrating. So we're going into some visual novel stuff. The game is very much like a visual novel. Give me a sec. I need to roll up my sleeves here. Not for any particular reason, just because I think it looks cool with have rolled up sleeves. There we go. Even though you can't actually see, I just realized you can't even see my sleeves when they're rolled up. Damn. That is highly unfortunate and very sad. Let me change this to multi-stream as well. There we go. Adjutant. Over here. Oh, man. What in the tripping balls am I staring at? We're upside down. There are floating books. How is gravity working here? Oh, wait, let me read this. Just maybe this will tell me. After what felt like ages navigating through the Titagen-forged tunnel, Kati and I finally spotted Edda's human form in the distance. She sat perched atop a tall stool. Only when I drew close did she hop down. Color me impressed. You really sniffed this place out. Very perceptive. I have no idea where we are right now. She clapped, slow and exaggerated, yet her eyes were cold. I wish I knew how to say that. Your little tricks won't work anymore, Edda. That's right. Katia Klein, you think this is the end? Obviously. Oh boy. Edda's out for blood. Not a chance. You'll pay in full for every ounce of pain and humiliation you've dealt me. Oh, she's evil. Everything you cherish, I'll tear it all down. Man. What did we ever do? Oh, wait, we shot her. Never mind. She snapped her fingers, and the ground beneath us began to quake violently. Trying to run again? I don't think that's what she's doing. Yeah, you're the ones who should be running now. So what's gonna happen here? The walls and floor melted like wax under a torch, then twisted and reforged into new shapes. Reading her intent, I braced myself, anchoring the ground beneath our feet. Surprised the ground is still intact. All around us, the world churned and howled. Yet the ground beneath Edda and us stayed still, like the eyes of two opposing storms on a collision course. That's what I want to ask. What is she trying to pull? Her voice was nearly swallowed by the tremors. She had to lean in, lips almost brushing my ear, just so I could catch the words. You know, if we weren't in like a life and death situation, that would actually be kind of hot, but we're dying. Or at least we're in danger of dying. Could be anything. He's in total control here. Right, so how do we get out of this? What are we gonna do about this? Hold on. I need to stabilize our space first. How do I do that? Wild torrents of Titagen slammed into my mind. I could barely string a thought together.
はこの辺でいいかな。
Damn, she's fucking powerful. So this was just a warm-up. Motherfucker. Why is she so strong now? Half a minute later, she stilled the shifting landscape.
あなたのために手ずから用意した決戦の舞台だよ。
Welcome to the stage of our final battle. I made it just for you. Like it, Adjutant? Do, Bunseki. Yes. Nah, I kinda hate it. What is this? Before us stood a familiar skyline, not familiar to me. So, Containment Zone Aleph, which I have not played. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know where this is. Where is this? Without our noticing, the roof beneath Katya and me materialized from the ground, and Etta lounged on a neighboring high-rise. Wait a second, I got something saying. Microphone is muted, but no signal. New Logitech something something sponsor campaigns live. Tin Can, welcome to the stream. In case you didn't know this, I am super confused right now. We're in like a simulation of Containment Zone Aleph, which I've not played. I don't know where this is.
気に入った？ 久々に戻った実家のような安心感でしょ。
Feels like coming home, does it? Why would it feel like coming home? I've never been here before.
そうだね。せっかくの実家帰りだし、昔からのお友達がいないと寂しいでしょ。
And I've saved the best for last. If we're back where it all began, shouldn't we catch up with some familiar faces? I guarantee I'm not going to be familiar with these faces. I don't know who these people are. White flashes lance through the air, followed by titan roars. From the changed to the towering Hela, titans of every shape and size materialized one after another. My mind snapped back to that energy blast Etta fired in the tunnel, and a knot of dread tightened in my gut.
その顔、これから何が起こるかもうわかるよね。ねえ。
Nah, so I'm just guessing that she has basically recreated every single enemy that the Adjutant and his ladies have fought. That's all I got so far. I got nothing else. This is all I can think of. She didn't wait for an answer. She leaned back and let herself fall. Okay. A heartbeat later, blinding white light erupted where she vanished. Amid the guttural roars of countless titans, a colossal silhouette rose. The progenitor of titans, Ymir, which I think we beat in like the prologue thingy.
人間の意識を持ってるユミル。
Ymir with a human mind. Fascinating, isn't
なんて素敵
it?
な力。
So,
もう最高。
ooh, psycho, she's a psycho. So I'm guessing she's controlling Ymir? Yep, there you go. Her crazed laughter echoed from deep inside Ymir, a heartbeat before its colossal arm slammed down on us. I yanked Katya close and dove to a nearby roof. The one we had stood on was crushed flat in an instant. Damn, that's dangerous. Even Katya was feeling the strain. She had faced massive titans before, like Yament of Yerus, but this one was stronger still, and backed by a whole pack of lesser titans.
分析、何か考えは？
Do I have a plan?
分析。
Not a one. Only then did she sense something was wrong. I wasn't ignoring her. I simply couldn't speak. Why can I not
や
speak?
だ。もう鈍いったらないんだけど。彼は周りの空間を維持してるのに必死だよ。
A little bit of water. Too slow, manifestation. Can't you see your darling adjutant is busy keeping your little reality from collapsing? So what am I doing here? Nani? She shot me a startled glance. I answered with a tight nod. This Daitagen-forged space wasn't as steady as it appeared to be. Beneath the surface, it kept collapsing inward, straight toward us. Solid Daitagen is wildly unstable. If I let the collapse run free, that much compressed energy would annihilate right beside us? Would annihilate us or right beside us? I don't know what that means. Holding it back takes razor-edged focus, like walking a tightrope in the eye of a storm. 3 meters. I met Katya's gaze, forced the words out, then shook my head.
3メートル以内にいろって。
You mean I can't drift more than 3 meters from you? I guess that's what it means. Right. 3 meters. That's my limit right now. We were well and truly cornered. Katya, whose edge had always been blistering speed, was forced to stick to my side. And I was too focused to even speak, let alone fight alongside her. Eda had tailored this trap for us. That's why she wasn't rushing. She was savoring our struggle like front row entertainment.
さて、考えはまとまったかな？学生者さん。
So I'm assuming Gakshesa means manifestation. No idea though. No idea if that's actually what that means, but I think that's what that means. Snow began to fall. Thick white motes of Daitagen. Emir's giant palm thundered toward us again. Katya clenched her jaw in barely contained rage, yet kept a firm grip on my hand, dodging in perfect sync. The moment she touched down, she opened fire at Ymir. Powered by her exoskute and Dewas, every round hissed through the air, crackling with fury, but I'm assuming nothing's gonna hit. Titans that tried to get in to Titans that tried to close in were shredded at once, and even Ymir staggered beneath the hail of bullets. Okay, so we actually did hit her. After that barrage, Katya also came to realize the problem. Distance. So we're too far away to do much. We were still too far from Ymir. For her shots to bite, we had to get closer. But rooftops tall enough to serve as springboards were few, and the gaps between them were far too wide for a single leap. As Katya hesitated, I rested a hand on her shoulder. Jump. She gave me one quick glance, then nodded. In perfect sync, we sprinted and launched off the roof's edge.
もう観念したの？死ぬの？
Jumping off to end your misery. Doesn't she want me alive? I thought Eda wanted me alive. Hardly. At the apex of our jump, a 3-meter wide platform winked into existence beneath us. Our momentum never faltered. With every leap, a new platform formed underfoot, vanishing the instant we sprang to the next. I was shaping those paths from Daitagen myself. My reach extended only 3 meters. But within that radius, I was nearly omnipotent.
そんなさせないよ。
So here's my question. Is she actually surprised or is she fucking with me? Energy blasts streaked toward us from every direction like bolts of lightning. Yet we were even faster. After all this time, Katya and I didn't need words, especially on the battlefield. Instinct always carried us along the same perfect path.
狂ってる。あなたたち。
Furuteru. You're insane. You are crazy. Furuteru. Okay, I'm gonna remember this one. It'll be good when I call someone crazy. Her voice was starting to fray. In under a minute, we landed on the rooftop, directly before Emir, staring it down at eye level. At this range, its sheer bulk was a liability. Even turning cost precious seconds. Just long enough for Katya to empty an entire clip. Ow, that hurts. Well, serves you fucking right. Reeling, she snapped back and had Emir unleash another beam, pulverizing the rooftop beneath us.
一回のまぐれだけで私に勝てると思ったら大間違いだよ。
You'll need more than that, Satan. Well, it's a good thing we probably have more. She didn't stop there. One by one, the surrounding high-rises were flattened under her barrage.
ユミルの弱点は胸の前にあるエネルギー源のはず。あの人間体も多分中にいる。
Emir's weak spot is that energy core in its chest, and I'll bet the human forms hold up right there.
あそこに当てれば
That's a
完全に倒せると思うけど、この距離からじゃ。
that's a sound theory. If I can land one clean shot, we might finish them for real. But at this range, so we need to get closer.
できるはずがないでしょ。
Not gonna happen. Oh, she sounds like she's kind of angry now. Emir's colossal hand slammed over its chest, shielding the core from every round.
残念すぎるよ。
Zannen. What a pity. What a
ここに
pity.
いるのがもっと強い覚醒者ならできたかもね。
If only a decent manifestation were here, maybe you'd have a chance. Wow, she is insulting.
あんたなんかには無理だよ。
But you're not even close. Damn. Katya knew the taunt was bait, yet her fist tightened on instinct. She never cared about proving herself to anyone. But where the adjutant was concerned, the thought of falling even half a step behind was unbearable. Resolve stayed firm, but each second wound her nerves tighter. Katya. My voice jolted her out of that downward spiral. Only you. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't force out more than those two words. Instead, I raised one finger.
時間の無駄だから。
I don't know what this means. Don't waste my time. Shut the f up, lady. Titans continued pouring in from every direction, but Katya answered with wordless bullets, felling them with ruthless precision.
考
Let's
え
say
て
ruthless.
ちゃんと考えなさい。
Think.
どうして分析員がこんなにも落ち着いていられるのか。
Focus. Why is the adjutant so sure? It's gotta be your outfit. I know.
私の
The
力も
less
その限界
the
も。
less clothing a
分析員はよく
character
知ってる
has,
はず。
the more powerful they are. This is common
分
sense.
析員には私ならできるという確信がある。
He knows my skills and my limits inside out, which means he is certain I can do this. Yes, I am.
カーシア・クライン。
Uh-oh, is she fading out? What's going on here? Only Katya Klein can. Yeah, is she fading? And then she vanished. Eda blinked, then threw her head back in laughter.
悪あがきを散々して結局逃げるの？
Does she really think Katya is running away?
いいよ。彼の最後をあなたの目で見届けて。
Watch how I finish him. I'm still confused. Doesn't Eda want me alive? I thought her whole thing was that she wanted the adjutant alive. Without Katya's cover fire, every Titan zeroed in on me. Dodging was no longer an option. The first Titan crashed against the Titagen shield I had conjured, and glanced off without a crack. The second followed, then a third. A blistering barrage fused into one blow, driving me backward across the rubble. Cracks spiderwebbed through the barrier. I had no choice but to clench my jaw and hold. Oop, I guess I got hurt. A beam punched through, shearing my left shoulder.
痛いよね。
So she's saying a lot of other words aside from I bet that smarts. I heard itai, which is hurt, to hurt. And then kawaii, which is scary. Don't know how that translates into oh, bet that smarts.
何ぼーっとしてるの？もーっと痛めつけて。
Man, she's a sadist. What's wrong with this lady? Beams rained down on me like a meteor shower. In 3 seconds, those spears of light would rip me apart. In 5, I'd be dead. Yet my eyes never left the core glowing in Emir's chest. I waited for the heartbeats when a flash of blue would slip between the beams and blot them out.
今よ。
Now what? What am I doing? Katya flashed into position out of thin air. A move that must have looked like suicide to the human form. Outside my sphere, Katya would be shredded by Titagen turbulence before she could even pull the trigger. She never truly left my range. Okay, so I'm guessing what I did was build something like a shield around her. Take the shot, Katya. That's right, you blow her brains out. I hurled every ounce of power outward in one pulse. My consciousness flooded the arena, and the world froze. Titans, beams, Titagen, even Emir itself. All except Katya. Holding every mode of Titagen for even a heartbeat would be nearly impossible. I had to give everything I had and more. That heartbeat was all we needed. The instant the bullet left the barrel, I heard Katya's voice in my mind. Distance meant nothing in that moment. Our souls were throbbing in perfect synchrony. I'd bet everything on that resonance. I trusted her skill, and more importantly, I knew Katya would understand the plan in my mind down to the last detail. Reality paused. Found ourselves inside Katya's mindscape. A beach? It was utterly still. A wave-scored reef facing an endless sea. The only sound, the crash of surf. How do you feel, Katya? I turned to her.
そうね。
She sounds a little tired. A breeze caught a lock of hair at her ear, tracing the sharp, elegant lines of her profile.
すっきりしたわ。
Oh, I guess she's feeling good. Same here. She smiled and met my eyes.
この前の約束通り、思う存分戦わせてもらったわ。
Right, I forgot she's a battle maniac. She likes fighting. That's her
自分の
shtick.
力を証明した上で、分析員の信頼にも応えた。
I proved my strength and I repaid your trust. She lifted her hand and gently hooked her finger around mine.
昔はただ振り子みたいに、目標を見つけては、
So,
達成するだけの人生を送っていた。
I'm gonna assume this is her when we meet her. In one of the previous chapters that I did not get to play. Still super salty. Still very, very fucking salty. I used to swing like a pendulum. Always chasing the next job, then the next.
同じ場所に長くとどまれないし、何かに打ち込むこともできなかった。
Could never stay in one place or with one goal for long.
分析員に出会うまでは。
Until I met you, oh boy, so I changed her. Or the adjutant changed her, whatever.
分析員は何か不思議な力を持ってるのかもね。
There's something about you.
楽しみが勝手に増えていくもの。
Some kind of magic. That's the magic power of the protagonist, the harem protagonist, and his super Riz abilities. When I'm with you, it feels as if I'll never run out of reasons to enjoy life.
気づいたらいつの間にか、一匹狼の傭兵クラインから、分析員を頼りがちなカーシアになったわ。
Somewhere along the line, I stopped being Klein, the mercenary who played by her own rules, and became Katya, the woman who has learned to lean on you.
ほんと、良くも悪くもだわ。
I don't know if it's good for her either, but it's definitely good for the adjutant. It is.
分析員にとってはそうでしょうけど。
Easy for me to say, I guess so. He chuckled and bumped my shoulder with hers. It's good for both of us, Katya. Just as you lean on me, I lean on you. And having someone you can trust and rely on, that's sheer bliss.
ふん。
I think she believes that. She offered no further reply, but the ripples in the air betrayed her. Her mindscape echoed every feeling in her heart. I've been thinking, what kind of covenant ceremony would suit a woman like you?
私みたいな？
A woman like
私
me.
って分析員の目にはどう映ってるの？
A battle maniac, that's how I see her. Of course, the adjutant is a lot more, a lot more diplomatic than I am. Brilliant, razor sharp, magnetic. Always full of surprises. You look like the toughest person in any room, yet underneath, you're unbelievably gentle.
本当にそう思うの？だったら好都合じゃない。適当にあしらえば？
Sounds like it wouldn't take much to please a girl like that. I don't know about that. You'd think so. A simple confession feels too plain for you. But something grand and showy would ring hollow. Nothing I imagined ever felt right. Until I realized, like you said, being with you makes even the smallest moments feel special. The covenant is just the beginning. One small chapter in the long life we'll share.
そうね。なら、儀式なんてこだわるよりも、今を大切にしましょう。
So why fuss over the ceremony when we already have the real thing, right? I guess so. She tilted her head and rested it on my shoulder.
ここっていいわね。邪魔が入らないし。
I don't know if we have as long as we want. This place is perfect, just the two of us, no interruptions for as long as we want.
まるで、私たちのための世界みたい。
Like we're the last people on Earth, oh damn. Then we really ought to secure humanity's future by, well, population maintenance. Oh, wow. So basically, we're gonna repopulate the world. She flicked my forehead before the sentence was even finished.
あなたって人は、せっかくかっこよかったのに。
He is an incorrigible. I actually kind of like the adjutant just because he is like an incorrigible flirt. Other protagonists are like boring compared to him.
せっかく私の意識の中なんだから、これから私の言うことを当ててごらん。
Alright, my darling. Since this is my mindscape, why don't you guess what I'm about to say? She slid one step forward, pivoted to face me, clasped her hands behind her back, and tilted her head with a playful wink. Truth is, I'd known her words from the moment we arrived. For life and beyond, never apart. Is that really what she'd say? The realm shivered, as if a heart skipped a beat, then thundered back to life.
これからもずっと一緒にいましょう。
I'm gonna assume this is something she might have said at some point in time in a previous chapter that once again I didn't get to play. Alright, what's going on now? Time resumed. The instant the bullet punched through Emir's chest, the crushing tide of Titagen bearing down on me vanished. The human form couldn't even muster even a whimper before the relentless barrage snuffed her out. With Emir's fall, every remaining Titan, and the attacks still in flight, crumbled into nothing. Alright, so we killed the human form. As the Titan's colossal frame disintegrated, two bodies dropped from the sky. Freed from every restraint, I surged forward and caught them both. One task remained. I put down Edda's human form, studying her pale face. She had recklessly chained her mind to Emir's, but when Katya struck the final blow, her consciousness unraveled with the Titan. Yet I could sense a faint smart. Blah, 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 I cannot speak. Yet I could sense a faint spark. Someone else lingered inside this shell. I'll be right back.
ええ、待ってるわ。
Oh, it looks like Katya is okay. I nodded to Katya and reached toward the human form's body. Without its master, the consciousness space trembled on the verge of collapse. But its continued existence was proof enough of my suspicion. There was another sentient being within. I steadied my thoughts and plunged deeper into the mindscape, probing through static, until a single pinprick of light emerged. The instant my fingertip brushed it, a silhouette slowly unfurled from the glow. It's the little Edda. Trapped Edda.
分析員
She seems a little surprised. A whisper swelled to a murmur. I finally caught her voice. Time to wake up, Edda.
ここはどこ
So, Koko. I don't remember what that meant. But I know what Doko means, it's where. Inside the human form's consciousness realm. Don't you remember?
意識空間
So she was not destroyed. I guess she really was just suppressed. Edda's digital form stared, dazed, then jolted upright.
待って私まだ生きてる
She really is surprised that she's not dead. I guess she thought she was. She patted her face and arms. An odd sight for someone made of code. Realizing she was whole, she looked back at me and burst into tears.
本体が現れたから絶対死んだのかと思ってた
Here we go. I thought I was done for when the host showed up.
あいつがちょっと手を振っただけで気を失ったもん
One wave of its hand and everything just went dark. Oh, so I guess she did technically die. Okay. Your mind was shattered, lingering only here. Had the human form's consciousness not collapsed, I couldn't have awakened you.
つまりあいつを完全に倒せたの
So you destroyed it. For real? Yes, for real. Yep, the body's yours now. As promised, you can live as a real human.
本物の人
Real human, she seems a little excited. Tears still clung to her cheeks, yet her eyes shone with uncontained joy. You'll need to stay with Yggdrasil for a while, at least until you learn the basics of human etiquette and manners.
そんなのどうでもいいよそれより分析員私に目的をくれない
She wants a purpose. Wouldn't that defeat the purpose? Of making her a human, I mean. Purpose?
うんほら本体の目的は人類を救うことでしょタウがあんな雑な目的を指定したせいであいつは好き勝手動けてるんだ
Yes, the host's purpose was to save humanity. Tao set the goal so grand and so vague that it drove the host to do all sorts of crazy things just to fulfill it. You know what? I guess when the goal is save humanity and you don't actually know what you're saving humanity from or how to do that, you do try all sorts of crazy ass shit. I guess I should blame Tao for how Edda's acting.
だから命の恩人である分析員に私の目的を決めてほしいの
You saved me, so you should choose my purpose. She looked at me with wide, expectant eyes. Should I assign a purpose to this new Edda? So I'm guessing this is all stuff that happened in a previous chapter. I know, at least I know her. Etta. Gongus. I don't know who Gongus is. Gongus. Yogurt. Yogurt is the stupidest name I've ever heard. Every advanced AI I had met drew its power from a built-in purpose. The very reason it was born. But the Etta standing before me no longer needed to carry that burden. I met her gaze and shook my head. I'm not going to assign you a purpose. Humans only start searching for their purpose after they begin living. You should do the same.
でも目的がないと何をしたらいいんだろう。
But without a purpose, what am I supposed to do? That's a very good question, young lady. Humans don't know what the fuck they're supposed to do. We have no purpose. Live. You don't need a directive. Life itself is purpose enough. The old Etta had you shadow me, logging my every move. Now, I want you to observe the world, learn it, and become part of it. One day, you'll discover something worth fighting for. And that, not something assigned, will be your purpose. That's how humans find meaning. It's also why a lot of humans have no meaning, and why we're still confused.
生きる
She studied her open palm in silence.
私にそんなことできるの？
I mean, I guess if she's gonna be human, she's gonna have to do that. Of course. You are the first sentient being ever to break free of Etta's control. Your existence alone proves individuality and free will. From here on, the path you walk is yours to forge. Some days will flow smoothly. Others may leave you lost or discouraged. Whatever comes, this life is yours and yours alone. Go live it, and make me proud. I think we just gave her a purpose. Make him proud. I stepped closer, opened my arms, and gently drew her into a hug. Oh. Well, the Riz Master just struck again. I guarantee she's just gonna want to stay with the adjutant at this point. The once willful, self-centered brat stood frozen.
おかしいな。
Strange.
この涙、流したくて流れてるものじゃないみたい。
Where are these tears coming from? I didn't program them. Well, if she's human, she's gonna cry. Raw, nameless emotion surged up, too strong to hold back. It might take some time to process all this, but it's okay. I'll be here for you.
うん。
This is like a rib cage, right? I'm looking at this now and I just realized this is basically like a rib cage. Huh. Weird looking. I felt her arms slowly wrap around my back, hugging me tight.
あのね、自分に名前をつけようと思う。
Okay, so she's gonna be someone else entirely. She's gonna choose her own name. She went silent for a moment, then asked tentatively.
サフィールとかどう？ヒロズア語で青い宝石って意味だよ。
How about sapphire? In Philosian, it means blue gem. You mean in English? Doesn't matter what I choose. Since it was her own decision, I had no reason to object.
うん。じゃあ、これから私はサフィール。
And thus, the adjutant got a new member of his harem to the party. I let her go and gave her hair a gentle pat. Time to leave this place. You'll need to master those new powers fast and help me find our way forward.
頑張る。
Gambara, I'll give it my all. Fingers intertwined, we stepped out of the mindscape together.
うわ
Whoa, what the fuck? The moment we snapped back into reality, Sapphire let out a horrified yelp.
ねえカシアさん
Oh god,
銃を下ろして
okay.
くれませ
So
んか
Katya's pointing the Gatling gun at her. Miss Katya, could you maybe not point that thing at my head? I spun to find Katya's Gatling gun trained right between Sapphire's eyes. The poor thing looked about to faint.
へえ綺麗な言葉が使えたのね
Oh,
そんなに行きたいの
Is a barrel to the face? Barrel in your face to teach you good manners, huh? Damn, Katya. Katya, stand down. The human form's original consciousness is gone.
今ここにいるのは私サフィールだから
Standing here now is the one and only totally awesome Sapphire. Well, you know what? She might be a new person, but she is still just as arrogant as ever. Looks like teaching this one proper manners might take a while.
あら今まで分析員の意識空間に立てこもってた例の意識体ね
So this was the one lurking in your head back then, huh? Yup.
サフィールだよ
It's Sapphire. Sapphireだよ。だよ。だよ。
本当に復活させたのね AI の割にあまり賢くなさそうだけど
So you actually hauled her back from the dead. Shame this one's not exactly the sharpest tool in the shed. Oh boy, I can tell these two are going to be the best of friends. Brains aside, Sapphire, can you get us out of this pocket dimension?
ここを壊すことだって不可能じゃないよ
Don't
今の
underestimate
私にとって
me.
タイタン物質を操るくらい本当に余裕だから
I could wipe this place out in a snap. Controlling Titagen is child's play for me now. She threw up a hand, drew a deep breath, and nothing happened.
あれ
Oh, I was right! Are it? But nothing happened. No matter how hard she tried, the Titagen around us stayed inert. Oh, damn.
あれ
Uh-oh. This can't be right. Katya and I watched as panic crept into her face. I know I shouldn't be laughing, but I want to laugh.
やっぱり無理だなんて言ったらわかるわよね
Well, can you or can't you?
待って待って待ってわかった私のせいじゃない
Mate, mate, mate. I've got it. It's not me. So she's casting the blame somewhere else. She clapped her hands once and seized my arm. Oh, is she saying it's my fault?
大変だよ分析員
We're in big trouble, Taihen. Taihen dayo. We're in big trouble, Adjutant. Easy. Take a breath. Now, what is it?
ここが消せないのはもう一人がここのタイタン物質を維持してるからだ
Motherfucker, the space is still stable because someone else is feeding it Titagen. Someone else? She did warn us about manifestations. I'm wondering if this is it. I gripped her shoulders. You mean there's another Edda's human form in here? No, that doesn't sound right. She nodded hard. Wait, so there is?
思い出した気を失う前にもう一人の人間体の気配を感じた
Oh, dear God.
そいつから覚醒者の匂いもしたの
It's coming back. Right before I blacked out, I felt the presence of another Edda's human form, packed with manifestation energy. Uh-oh. Tess. Unease stirred in my chest again. I took a deep breath, forcing myself to stay calm, so something happened to Tess. Can we pinpoint the source?
通路を作るだけならタイタン物質でできたこの空間を利用できるかも
I might be able to reshape the Titagen in here to open us a passage. Sapphire shut her eyes, raised both hands, and the space itself ripped apart. 2 ragged holes, wide enough for us to step through.
できた
Oh boy. Dekta. So, dekta is the past tense word of dekiru, which means can do. Can do. It's a little different from suru, which means to do and is often used for like specific activities like sports. And you could say, I guess not the same. You could say, like, soccer o dekiru. I can play soccer. Or you could say, soccer o suru or shimasu. And that's like saying, I will play soccer. Panting, Sapphire pointed toward the two rifts.
左の方はここから出て現実世界へ戻れる道。
So the left leads back to the real world,
右のやつはもっと深入りして
and the
この
right
空間を
guides
構築
deeper
した人のもとへ行ける道。
straight to whoever's holding this pocket space. Alright. Another fork in the path, but this time the choice was crystal clear. I turned to Katya. Katya, Oh, she's shushing me. She pressed a finger to my lips.
説明しなくていいわ。
No need to spell it out for me.
考えてること。わかるわ。
I'll take her to the
先を越
archives,
されないために、先にこの子を書庫へ連れて行くから。
just in case the enemy gets there first. Her hand slipped from my lips, resting over my heart.
状況が状況だから焼かないわよ。
Now isn't the time to worry about my feelings.
分析員が決めたことなら、何でも納得するわ。
Glad to know she's with me on
だから
this.
迎えに行ってあげて。私の時みたいに、彼女のことも受け止めて。
So go, find Tess, just like when you caught me when I fell, catch her now. Katya cupped my face and pressed her forehead to
あ
mine.
なたはきっと私の元に戻ってくる。そうでしょ。だから、あんまり待たせないで。
I know the man you are. You always come back. Just don't keep me waiting too long, okay? You know what? If this was anything other than a harem RPG shooter visual novel thing, I am fairly certain this would have been a death flag. Possessive and assertive as ever. Classic Katya. Behind her eyes flickered something soft and warm. I'll come back to you. Promise. I'd said the same thing to her in New Henturo, and I'd kept that promise. I'd keep this one too. That sounds like another death flag, but I'm fairly certain we won't die. After a long, lingering kiss, I turned and stepped, without a second's hesitation, into the rift Sapphire had opened. Oh, does she want a kiss too?
何見てるの？
What are you looking at?
いや、ただ今あなたの言ったことに
Oh, maybe she doesn't want a
驚い
kiss?
てるだけ。
Nothing. Well, what you just said kind of hit me.
これがカーシアクラインのスタイルよ。
Line no style. That's just me being me.
彼のそばにいたいなら、あなたも自分のそれを見つけた方がいいわ。
And if you plan on sticking with him, you better find your own way to keep up.
言われなくても分かってるよ。
I get it. I don't need you to lecture me on this. Yep, they're gonna be the best of friends. Sapphire's bluster earned nothing but a thin smile from Katya before she turned away. Alright. So now, what are we doing here? I think this is probably the battle with the Emir would be my guess. Alright, let's do this. Where are we going? This way. Oh, I need to jump. There.
You certainly know how nimble these fingers are, my dear.
Oh, this place.
Oh, so no, that's Tess.
An upside down containment zone, Aleph. Like I'm inside a mirror. Come on, Tess, no time for gawking. I need to get out of here ASAP.
I haven't even warmed up yet.
A little weird hearing Tess when I'm playing Katya, but... Jump. Not very good at using the jump.
Not bad.
Well, that's weird looking. I wonder if I should switch to Tess, but I don't think she's as good.
Tougher than before.
Let's see how she
Wonder
does.
how the action's holding up. Wait, is that Etta?
Wait, where's Etta?
I control the tempo of this magic show.
I'm a little lost. Wait.
All right,
Okay, so they are gonna
now
attack.
this is real magic.
Eat lead. My gun.
Oh, weird. Okay, so when you use her attack, or her ultimate, it automatically switches.
Tonight.
Weird.
Not bad. But I think your kiss would be more effective.
Assuming we go this. No, we go on this. Okay. I was about to go the wrong ass way. Here. Oh, enemies.
My
There.
gun hasn't even warmed up yet.
I guess we don't actually need to kill those things. Maybe, yep, we're just gonna go right over here.
Feeling sharp. Now you really want to stand in my crosshairs. That was your best
Unlimited
shot.
bullets and standard skill use for 30 seconds. No, that was completely useless.
Mission complete. Let's take a break together.
Simple enough.
残念。
Oh,
選ぶ道。
so this is the other Edda. Donnan. Perched on a jagged shard of wall dozens of meters away. A figure identical to Edda's human form regarded Tess in utter silence. Her gaze cool and unreadable. In this upside-down world, she was the first person Tess had seen standing the right way up.
あなたはさっきまでの人間体と違う個体だよね。
Sharp as a tack. Favorite character so far is probably Fenny, but Katya is really catching up. Like this one, Katya really is doing a bang-up job of catching up to Fenny. I still like Fenny's personality the best, though. What about you? What's your favorite character? Or who is your favorite character? I wish I could read katakana. I'm not good at katakana, so I can't actually read that. And of course, I suck at kanji. Even at a glance, Tess felt it. This one had a completely different aura.
そっちの分析員が本体と反目になった時、本体は私を作り出した。
When your precious adjutant cut ties with the host, it made me. Cut
あの
ties
結
with
婚
the
品と
host.
違って、私は本体の力をすべて受け継いだ完
Uh,
璧な人間体。
unlike that reject, I carry the host's full power. I am its perfect human form. No, wait, what?
すべて？
Full power, huh? What? Wait, how did that work? When did I cut ties with the host? Tess gave a scoffing laugh.
人間の感情だけは持ってないみたいだけど、
Pity, you are missing the one thing that actually makes us human, feelings.
真の人間になるのには感情は不要なものだと本体の計算で分かったんだ。
The host calculated emotions to be extraneous. Abandoning them does not hinder humanity, it refines it. That's... No, I'm gonna hard disagree.
人間の成人なんて感情 もっと言えば人間性を捨ててこそ成人になったんじゃない？
History's so-called saints ascended only after discarding emotion and, in truth, their own humanity. If they discard, that's so contradictory. If they discard their humanity, they cease being human.
何を言うかと思えば
You said it, Tess. That's dumb.
あなたと哲学の話をする気はないよ。とにかくあなたもさっきの人間体同様書庫が目当てなんでしょ？
I'm not here for a philosophy lesson. Let me guess, same as the last human form, you were after the archives. The figure nodded, then gave a slow shake of the head.
書庫だけじゃないよ。
Not
私以外に
just
そこへ
that.
入ろうとするやつも
I
全員
shall
狙ってるよ。
erase anyone else who dares reach for
じゃ
them.
あこれでも食らえ。
And taste this. I'm guessing Tess is gonna lose pretty hard. Two stub-sized grenades streaked from Tess's palm toward the figure's perch. 5 meters out, each shell erupted, spraying a cloud of micro-charges. They were tuned to sting, not kill. Tess was testing the waters. Would this Edda block, dodge, or strike back? She tracked every twitch, yet the figure didn't even
ク
blink.
クルカンの加護
Shield of Kukukolken. Kukukolken. I don't know. So she's just gonna make a shield. At her whisper, massive feathered wings flared into being, folding over her like a living rampart. The many charges struck like drizzle on the sea. No ripple, no sound. Tess frowned. I'm a bit confused too. Not at the failed attack, but at the pattern of defense itself. It felt too familiar. Almost like something from a previous chapter that I didn't get to play.
私の番だね。
Watashi no ban da ne, my turn. The words snapped Tess's focus back as Edda lifted a hand, then brought it down. Judges grapple. Katakana. Ah! Genzu. Gensu. Well, thank you for joining me, James. Hey. I really do. I need to at some point memorize katakana. I've got the hiragana down. I'm learning kanji. But for whatever reason, katakana just gets me stumped all the time.
オーディンの決断
Judgment of Odin. Oh my god. What a pretentious name. Invoking the Allfather's name. 9 bolts of lightning flared from her fingertips, lancing toward Tess. Tess arced backward into a tight flip, landing 5 meters away, a split second before impact. The spot she had vacated was now a smoking crater, half her height deep. Tess had no more doubt. This Edda was channeling manifestation power, and might even command all of it.
まずい。こんなのとやり合うの？
Oof, this is bad. How do you fight something like so? Not gonna lie. Because of how they start you off in this game, I'm a little confused. I don't quite know what manifestation power is exactly. Even as she muttered, Tess darted through the skyline, slipping past the next volley.
正面からじゃ勝てるはずもないね。
Well, at least she recognizes that she doesn't stand a chance in a head-on clash.
分析員の言った通り、こいつから生き残るためには頭をフル回転しないといけないみたい。
The adjutant was right. If I'm going to live, I need everything but brute force.
環境、地形、時間、何か利用できるものはないかな。
Environment, terrain, timing, what else? Come on, think. Her mind raced, but Edda gave her no room to breathe.
ヘルメスの神速
Swiftness of Hermes, so she's just calling the names of random ass gods. A surge of cobalt light detonated around her. In the next instant, her speed multiplied several fold. The tens of meters between them vanished in a blink, and she still wasn't finished. Edge of Tyr. So, and I think Tyr is one of the primordial gods of the Greek pantheon. A great sword, nearly her height, flashed into her hands. She swung it as if it weighed nothing. The blades shaved right past Tess. One heartbeat slower, and she'd have been cleaved in two. Edda didn't hesitate. She dragged the sword behind her, then whipped it forward like a javelin. The blade spun, screaming through the ruins at an uncanny speed. Tess pivoted off a dangling street sign, slipping beyond its lethal arc. But the great sword refused to stop. It banked mid-air, wheeling around for a second run. A homing sword? Tess let out a rueful sigh. So much for winning on footwork alone. With this realization, she vaulted skyward. Climbing higher and faster than the pursuing sword, she was directly above the spinning steel in a heartbeat. She then kicked off empty air, driving herself down like a hammer. The sudden vertical force dragged the sword with her. It slammed into the pavement and burst into sparks, fading out of existence. Such explosive strength, such pinpoint control. How did she manage it? Edda already knew, because the moment Tess lunged, the apple, hovering at her side, subtly dimmed. Vitality boost. That's one of the apple's hidden subroutines, okay? I don't know how this works. It floods Tess's system with concentrated life energy, letting her push past human limits just long enough to execute maneuvers no ordinary body could manage. Wow, that's quite the scoff. Edda immediately saw the gadget's fatal flaw. The apple gave Tess just enough juice to dodge and stay safe, but its charge would run out eventually. All she had to do was turn up the pressure and wait her out. Devotion of Prometheus. Oh man, more Greek. Ruin of Chernobog. I don't recognize that one. I know the name, I just don't know what it comes from. Tsukuyomi was the goddess of the moon in Japanese mythology. Fire, crushing force fields, silvery lunar energy. 3 separate torrents roared from her outstretched palm, each one spearing straight for Tess. Alright, I'm gonna be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom. I drank all this water and I am, I gotta go. I'll be right back. Hang on. Oh, manifestation is how it So manifestation is how it sounds ultimately. It's people who have manifested some kind of power to be protected. Right, and I sort of got that general idea. I just don't, because they start you off with this in this game. They start you off on chapter 14 part 2. A lot of, I think, context, lore, and like basic world building is never really explained. They just drop names. So while I do sort of have like a basic understanding of what manifestation is, you know, it's something that I don't know for sure because they never actually explain it, at least in my playthrough so far. So, and now I'm guessing that each of these powers is one that one of the girls in the adjutant's harem has. As predicted, every blast missed by a hair. Tess slipped between them like a nimble cat. Her footwork so fluid and graceful, it almost looked like she was toying with her enemy. But the apple at her side betrayed the truth. Its glow cycled from burnished gold to warning red, then to a wan teal, draining with every miraculous dodge. After countless failed volleys, Edda's eyes went wide. Tess had run into a dead end. 2 rows of facades boxed them in like arena walls, and the open ground between them offered no cover at all. A perfect execution site, Edda thought, lifting her hand for the coup de grace.
Anubis no.
Morning of Anubis. So I'm guessing Anubis... I'm gonna say Anubis is probably Mauser's power. She never finished the incantation. Oh! Tess, who had been meters away, suddenly appeared behind her like a silent shadow. And now we get protagonist music going. Damn, she actually looks pretty good right here. Tess had waited so long for this very moment. Every feint, every panicked sidestep had been a setup to lure her enemy here. With sleight of hand gadgets, she had scattered false footprints, breadcrumbs of illusion that nudged Edda exactly where she wanted her. Inch by inch the trap closed, and when the arena was set, Tess burned the apple's final spark, vaulted off a rooftop and speared downward, landing at her enemy's back. At that heartbeat, Edda's full focus was locked on a decoy dummy, mid-incantation. As a manifestation herself, Tess knew the fatal window they all shared. The split second spent unleashing an attack when defense is impossible. I'm gonna assume she still loses, but this is an awesome moment. A steel-edged playing card snapped from Tess's poker gun and carved clean through the heart of Edda's human form, or maybe not. Gook. Gook. She hacked a wet rasp. Dark blood spilled across her palms. Itsumo nani? When did you... Tess didn't bother answering. No sense talking before the job was done. She snapped off a second shot, this time at the throat. But the card never landed. Edda's fingers clamped around it mid-flight and crumbled the steel-like foil. How could anyone that badly wounded still move like that? Tess watched, stunned, as the ragged hole in Edda's chest knit itself shut, skin smoothing over in a single heartbeat. Yep, kinda figured nothing would work. Vitality of Eden. Now I like this art right here. This is some pretty cool art. Tess's pupils tightened to pinpricks. Eden, Tess's own Deos, the goddess of youth and renewal.
これを使う時が来るなんて。
Oop, never thought I'd need to play that card.
強いね、人間。
You're tougher than I anticipated, human.
でも、いよいよ万事休すなんじゃない？
But I can feel it, you're spent.
ままごとは終わりだよ。
Oh, owarida. No trick, no tactic. No amount of misdirection could save her now. Tess allowed herself a small, almost wistful smile and slipped the poker gun back into its holster.
ままごと。そうだね。
Alright, well, and I'm guessing the adjutant's gonna come soon? Bang. Etta, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of I don't know, I'm gonna say it, but there's a moment in Chainsaw Man this reminds me of. Etta lifted one hand, but Tessa's gaze didn't waver.
バルドルの慟哭。
Sorrow of Baldur. Ooh, it was a stroke powerful enough to fell even an invulnerable god. Oh well, shit. Against that power, a human body was no sturdier than a dry leaf. In a single heartbeat, the devastating radiance ripped through Tess. Her silhouette shattered, tumbling into the abyss below. Well, she had already done enough. As she plummeted, a curious calm settled over
分
her.
析員との約束は果たしたよ。
Oh shit. Well, she had truly burned every drop of strength. Anything less, and she could never have wounded Etta's human form. And despite all that, Tess was actually unscathed. The Tess that was torn apart by Etta was a masterwork of illusion, conjured through sleight of hand and misdirection. After all, for a master magician, the greatest trick has always been escapology. Okay, so she made it. She made it
私がしたい
out.
こともやり尽くした。
I think, and my purpose is complete. From the outset, Tess never meant to win, only to stall the enemy. I am glad she listened to the adjutant. Damn, I was scared for a second there. If you run into an enemy you can't handle, throw every trick you've got at them, confuse them, outsmart them. The minutes she bought were more than enough for the adjutant and Katya to reach the archives. That alone made this the best ending she could hope for. She felt her consciousness peeling away, thought by thought. Tilting her head, she stared into the abyss below. No matter how hard she squinted, the void had no bottom. Not so bad, she mused. An endless fall meant endless time to think about the man she loved, however long she might last. And with that thought, every memory of him flooded in, warm and vivid. After their first dinner together, Tess floated home, still giggling. That night, she lay in bed, thumbing question after question into her terminal. What does it mean when a man calls a girl a golden apple? I want to know that too. What the fuck is a golden apple? Is it easy for a new teacher to remember every student's name? Best restaurants for treating someone as a thank you? A girl can hide her feelings. The dark circles after a sleepless night always give her away. Tess, are your classes piling up on you? During their second meal, he noticed something was off.
全然。最近
Zen
はちょっとそのマジックを練習してただけなの。
Not exactly. I've just been practicing magic a lot lately. That's a lie. That is sus as fuck. But I remember this outfit. You were into magic.
私の一番の趣味だよ。
So... it was a hobby.
まあまだまだ素人だし、ショーどころか練習でもよくミスっちゃうんだ。
Oh boy. So I'm guessing this was before she became good at magic. I even botched the practice runs, let alone a real show. Then how about we practice together?
一緒に
Right? 一緒に。
一緒に練習するの？
So, you might know this, James. 一緒に means together. 練習 means practice. する means to do. And no is like the ending particle to turn a statement into a sentence. So, 一緒に together. 練習 practice. する to do. No question. 一緒に練習するの? She almost blurted out yes on reflex before reason kicked in.
先生、忙しいんだよね。
But aren't you swamp teacher? So, am I a teacher or am I a student?
それに、趣味でマジックをやってるだけだから、先生に付き合ってもらうわけには。
Magic's my personal thing. I shouldn't drag you into it. Truth is, I enjoy a good sleight of hand myself. If you're up for it, we can run drills after class. Save you a few late nights. How does that sound, Tess?
もちろんいいよ。
I'd love that, really. もちろんいいよ. Looking back, Tess finally understood why he had offered those after-class sessions. His assignment at the time was to investigate the school, and late-night magic practice gave him the perfect excuse to linger on campus.
理由はどうであれ、分析員は私にとって憧れの先生だったの。
So I was a teacher seducing my student. How shameless. Whatever his reasons, to me he was a wonderful teacher.
ねえ先生、なんで私のパフォーマンス
Nerves
そんな
would be
に
my
バレやす
guess.
いの？
Why do my tricks always collapse when I'm on stage? After one of their drills, Tess frowned down at the two small balls cupped in her hands. Your technique is solid, but you're too honest up there.
それっていいことなんじゃないの？
Right, isn't honesty a good thing? I mean, yeah. Tess, you are down. She actually is pretty adorable, I'm not gonna lie. Tess, you are downright adorable.
かわいいとか。
Kawaii toka, yes. Honesty is a virtue, yes, but a magician has to misdirect. When you want the audience to watch your left hand, the real move happens in the right. See? Eyes, gestures, subtle shifts.
へえ。私もやってみていい？
Watashi mo yatte mitai. I might have gotten that wrong. Yatte mi ga ii? Maybe. Maybe. Just like that. You pick things up fast, Tess. She beamed at the praise, though she knew it wasn't pure talent. She had never been top of the class in normal coursework, yet anything the adjutant taught her stuck after a single run-through. I'd say you have a knack for magic. Trust yourself. Let that shine.
彼に励まされながら、私は徐々に大勢の前でパフォーマンスできるようになった。
Maybe it's just me, but she looks a little thicker now than she did back then. Thanks to his encouragement, my fear of performing melted away, bit by bit.
そしてある日、練習の時のこと。
And then came that night after one of our practice sessions. I'm guessing we slept together. Or she and the adjutant, I mean. Oh, no, maybe
先生との
not.
練習に熱中しすぎて、日記帳を行動に
Oh
置いてきちゃ
no,
った。
I got so caught up in rehearsing with teacher, I left my journal in the auditorium. Okay, so I'm guessing the adjutant found her journal. Tess tore through the moonlit streets, shoes slapping pavement, racing back to campus. Anything else could wait till morning, but that journal. Every page was crammed with his name and the girl's unspeakable yearnings. Unspeakable? What unspeakable yearnings? I am curious. Well, technically those two were one and the same. If teacher found it and opened it, just picturing that sent heat rushing to her cheeks. I'm guessing he found it and opened it. She reached the school minutes later. Halls that bustled by day now lay silent and cavernous. A chill crawled up her spine.
落ち着いて、落ち着いて。もう学校には誰もいないはずだから。
Yeah, no, there's definitely someone here. The crash made her jump. She almost turned to bolt on instinct.
もしかして喧嘩
What if it's a fight,
それとも
or
いじめ
what if someone's being bullied? Conscience tugged harder than fear. She drew a breath, softened her footsteps, and edged toward the sound. What she saw froze her blood. 3 shadow-clad figures, looked like secret agents, closing in on a lone man. She stifled a gasp when she recognized their target. It was the adjutant. Why is he here? Who are those people? Questions slammed through Tessa's mind as she fumbled for her terminal to call for help. I wonder if this is also something we get to see in the other chapters, or if this is like pure backstory that happened before the game even began. Before she got the first number dialed, the adjutant moved. Bracing a foot against the wall behind him, he shoved off in a sudden burst, slamming his shoulder into the attacker and knocking them sprawling. He never slowed. Spinning on his heel, he drove an elbow deep into the ribs of a second assailant who had rushed in from behind. The third, thinking they had found an opening, charged in with a roar. The adjutant dropped into a low crouch and swept their legs, sending the last attacker crashing to the floor. Okay, so this is all backstory then. Thank you. I figured at some point I will get to actually go back and play from chapter 1, but it's a little frustrating because I don't actually know which parts of this all is, backstory from before the game began, or something that I would have learned about in chapter 1. The fight wrapped up in 5 seconds. He shook his head at the 3 unconscious agents sprawled on the floor, then raised his terminal. This is him. Your loose ends came after me. Relax, I just knocked them out. Just send someone to pick them up. A straight military handoff is fine. Tessa's heart hammered, but she couldn't tear her eyes away. Keep your back to a wall. Cut down the angles they can hit you from. Mask your intent. Strike when they least expect it. When an opponent's balance breaks, finish with a sweep. She etched every move into memory. On her way home, the fight replayed in Tessa's head on an endless loop. One thing was clear. The adjutant was no ordinary teacher. A typical schoolgirl might have run to faculty or confronted him the next day. Tess did neither. She simply locked the memory away. And she wished to know more about him. A secret shared by just 2 people, the young magician in training and her mysterious teacher. Man, what a forbidden relationship, so hot. And just like that, the semester slipped to an end.
先生この間練習に付き合ってくれてありがとうなんだかマジックが上達した気がするよ
Thanks for watching me practice these last few days. I feel like I'm getting better at magic. You are
今
very
日は
welcome.
めちゃくちゃ美味しいクレープを食べに行こうよもちろん私のおごりで
You know what? I actually do like crepes. So I went to every time I go to Japan, I get their crepes, and they are so delicious. They are so good. So good.
卒業式の時に私の助手が先生だって分かったら
If you
みんな
play,
きっ
oh
とびっ
my.
くりするだろうな
If you play the role of my assistants at the graduation ceremony, I'll definitely be able to surprise everyone. Yes, actually, I might be getting transferred again soon. I'm sorry. Oh man.
先生は何も問題なんか起こしてないでしょどうして急に転勤なんて
Why do you have to move? Or why do they have to move you? Deep down, she already knew the answer. It's a routine transfer. They need me elsewhere. It felt as if the sun that broke through gray clouds had vanished all at once. Before she could stop herself, she blurted out a request.
じゃあ 卒業式じゃなくて
Hmm.
2週間後の新年イベントに出ることにする。
Then I'll sign up for the New Year's party. 2 weeks from now. Will you help me practice till then, teacher? 2 weeks? It's going to be tough to get everything ready in such a short time.
私頑張るもん。
Right, gambaru. I'll give it everything I've got.
だから信じて。お願い。
So I'm gonna assume shinjite means trust. Okay, I promise I'll be there. And promises matter, Tess. They carry the weight of 2 hearts. So promise me, no more staying up past midnight to rehearse. Don't push yourself too hard. Heartfelt smiles blossomed on both their faces. Thank you, Tess.
どうしたの？
Right, どうしたの? What for, teacher? For these past few months, I've enjoyed every moment with you. I'm grateful I got to teach a genius.
天才って、私のこと？
Man, he's totally putting on the moves of on his students, isn't he? Teacher, are you talking about me? I am. You're a natural at magic, and not just parlor tricks. Realm magic takes careful prep, lightning improv, and the knack for guiding an audience wherever you want them to look. Those skills might not shine in a classroom, or in everyday life, but when the moment demands it, they become a truly formidable... He hesitated, a shadow of caution in his eyes. Ability. Tess knew what he had stopped himself from saying. Weapon. Even now, she remembered exactly how she felt in that moment. A voice inside her had screamed, urging her to tell him everything. I know who you really are. I understand what you meant by when the moment demands. Let me be part of your world. But another, quieter voice insisted. He'd never want that. The girl he trusted was Tess, a cheerful student who loved stage magic. Not a stalker drowning in secrets, wow. She called herself a stalker. She had a show to perfect and a promise to keep. And after the curtain fell, that would be the perfect time to tell him how she felt. But the ending was already inked in. Tess, worn thin by sleepless rehearsals, collapsed halfway through the show, breaking her own promise. A single mistake that took 3 years to atone. Damn, 3 whole frickin' years!
奪還計画を実行すべく
Oh,
部下を率いて宿り木宇宙ステーションへ向かった後、音
led.
信不通になる。
I see. So
天才
afterwards,
は
the adjutant went up to Mistletoe Station and has been missing. Standing in Tao's office, a chill needled clear to her bones. Tears blurred the report before she could finish the line.
表向きでは音信不通扱いになっていますが、私たちの今の技術力では彼を連れ戻すことはほぼ不可能です。
We listed him as
あなたも
missing
分か
to
って
the
いると思い
public.
ますが、
But you know the truth. With today's tech, there's no bringing him back.
もう彼に会えないの。
彼にあるないのあるないあるない So, kare, I think, is he or him. Arunai is maybe to see. I don't know. She had dropped out of school, enlisted with Yggdrasil, clawed her way here, only to meet this grim reality. The old Tess might have crumbled on the spot, but every drill, every hardship she had endured for the chance to see him again had forged her body and steeled her spirit. Even now, even in agony, she stood tall. Not a single sob slipped free.
ユグドラシルは社員一人一人の意向を尊重します。
Yggdrasil will honor whatever you
もう
decide.
続ける気がなくなったのなら、 今すぐやめていただいて結構です。
If you want out because he's gone, you are free to walk away right now. I'm guessing she doesn't, and I return. Walk away? But to where? Tess stood silent for a long time, head bowed. At last, her voice emerged.
ううん残るよ。
Okay, so she's
彼
gonna
みたい
stay.
な人は
There's no one else in the
どこに
world
もい
like
ない
him.
から。
And at some point, I come back. She wondered, if she'd only been braver back then, would everything have unfolded differently? Now, suspended among the city's ruins, Tess had no strength left for what-ifs. Only silence remained, a hush so deep it smothered every other feeling. Except one, and she had never been more certain of anything.
先生のことが本当に本当に好きなの。
Oh, I thought they were going to use aishiteru, but they used ski. She missed him with every breath, longed just to hear his voice again. Tess. She thought she heard that voice. Tess. The voice grew clearer, steady, warm, tugging Tess back from the depths of her memories. Oh. Quite the view. Sorry I kept you waiting. In my eyes, Tess saw her own reflection. Chalk, written plain on her face. I reached out and gently wiped away the tears at the corner of her eyes. You know, I'm holding her with both hands. What am I using to wipe the tears away? I know that's just a joke. I know I'm actually, probably using one of those hands. At least I hope so. It's okay. You are safe now. My arms wrapped around her, quieting the tremble in her frame.
うっさき
I'm here, Tess.
もっと近づいてくれる？
I'm wondering, I'm fairly certain that we are already about as close as humanly possible, but... I leaned in. From this distance, I could see every flutter of her lashes. I'm listening. You can tell me anything.
分かった。
Wakata, I'd assume if they were going to use good, they should have used I. I desu yo, or I dayo. Still nestled in my arms, she tilted her head up and pressed a soft, cherry-sweet kiss to my lips. Though she had made the first move, her eyes were shut tight like a shy little fawn's. I leaned in, guiding her gently, past those pearly teeth, until our tongues brushed. Hesitant at first, then slowly melting into each other. Exhausted from the earlier fight, her breathing turned ragged. I ran a soothing hand through her hair and let her go. Her cheeks bloomed with pink, nerves, bashfulness, joy all wrapped in one. She looked up and met my gaze with a tender smile I had always cherished.
分析好き。
Ski.
このキスは
Moon?
制約の時まで取っとくつもりだったの。
I wanted to save that kiss for our covenant ceremony. Wait, have I not even kissed Tess yet?
でももう待てない。
So the adjutant hasn't kissed Tess before. This was their first kiss? I can't wait any longer. That shocks me if it's the case.
本当に長すぎたんだ。
I've already waited 3 years, and that feels like forever.
エロ社の雪の結晶は一つ一つ覚えるくらいだったの。だか
Long enough to memorize every snowflake that falls on Yerus.
ら
So I don't want... Her voice hitched. Each word sounded torn straight from her soul.
もうあなたなしの日々は嫌なの。
Wow, I don't want to live without you anymore. Her tears spilled down her cheeks again. She was always the cheerful one, yet somehow I kept making her cry. We'll never be apart, Tess. Not now, not ever. I'll always be there for you. You can always lean on me. I laced my fingers through hers and spoke the promise I'll spend a lifetime keeping. I've always known you're not as innocent as you look. Those sly little schemes, the jealous glances when I talk to the other girls. Honestly, a bit intimidating at times. But I adore every side of you. The girl who laughs for me, cries for me, and sees straight through me. My sharp, mischievous, utterly lovable golden apple. I love you. All of you. Her breathing steadied. The light in her eyes flared brighter than ever.
分析員、
ん？
私の髪を結んでくれる？
Did you tie back my hair? My fingers slipped through her silky crimson strands. Guided by memory, I smoothed and knotted them the way she liked. I'm assuming these little rose-like buns?
知ってるんだ。
I always knew you
分
loved
析
me.
員はずっ
Wow.
と私のことを愛してくれてるって。
私のこと愛してるくって愛してる愛して so Let's hear this again.
知ってるんだ。
してるんだ。
分析員はずっと
分析は
私
ずっと
のことを愛してくれてるって。
私のこと愛してるってくっ
知ってるんだ
て。
分析員はずっと私のことを愛してくれてるって。
愛してくれる。I'm not gonna be able to pronounce that. That's too fast for me.
分析員が支えてくれるなら今のテスは
With the adjutant beside her, this Tess would never lose again. That's my girl. With that resolve, let's go put our arrogant enemy in the ground.
もう一つだけ
She got one more request. Motsutake, one more request. What is it?
ここを出るまで
Until we're out of
この
here,
まま私をキュッてしてくれる？
can you keep holding me like this, honey? Honey, is that the adjutant's new name? Her voice tapered off to a whisper, softer than a heartbeat. Okay. Well, that was adorable. And I'm guessing now we've got the mission followed by another visual novel-esque cutscene, and then the last boss would be my assumption. Alright.
Katya, this way! You're all how far to the archives? Let me pull up the system map. Just ahead.
Oh. That was Sapphire.
Feeling sharp. You certainly know.
Be
how many
interesting
of
if we
these
can
fingers
actually
are
pull
on.
Sapphire at some point. Alright. God, she's so fucking overpowered.
I deserve a kiss for that. After the battle, of course. Feeling sharp. Now's the time to strike. The incoming hail of bullets. You're all dead.
These are like the weirdest monsters right there.
Double the firepower. Now this is real magic.
Okay. So, find the archive. Oh, nope.
My gun hasn't even warmed up yet.
Lot of sunflowers.
Incoming hail of bullets.
All right, here we
We're
go.
all dead. Just a scratch. Won't slow me down. Let's finish this in one go. Now this is getting interesting. We'll take it from here.
Oh, damn!
Magician is back on.
Wait. Can't you just hack the bots?
I can, but you blew them up too fast. I didn't even have a chance to start hacking them.
Next time, just tell me that earlier.
Far so good.
Wow, they're getting along so well. Well, I beat the stage, but I think I
I'll win
missed
for you, just like always.
one of the objectives. No operative forced to retreat. So we're actually going to do that again. I didn't realize that was so bad. Hang on a sec. Let's do that one more time. I feel like it's important to make sure you meet every single objective.
Incoming hail.
Miss Katya, this way!
How far to the archives?
Let me pull up the system map. Just ahead.
Feeling sharp. Now's the
It's a
time
little
to
interesting
certainly know
switching
how
from
nimble these
Japanese to
fingers are.
English
Truth is,
constantly.
I'm the impatient one. Let's wrap this up already. You really want to stand in my crosshairs? Oh, a bit of money to buy us a drink tonight. Feeling sharp. Now's the time to strike. Feeling sharp. Now's the time to strike. Break time? Don't need it.
Okay.
Oh, a bit of money to buy us a drink tonight.
All right.
Fifth
This should be a
incoming
lot
hail of
easier
bullets.
now.
Yup.
Now this is real magic.
Let's finish this in one go. Just a scratch. Won't slow me down.
There.
Wait. Can't you just hack the bots?
I can, but you blew them up too fast. I didn't even have a chance to start hacking them.
Next time, just tell me that earlier.
All done.
Mission complete. Let's take a break together.
All right, next stage. This is the last cutscene before the boss.
分析員はどうやって駆けつけてくれるの?
How did you find me so quickly? The power of love, obviously. She asked just after we stepped out of that warped pocket and back onto solid ground. Ahead stretched the real corridor leading to the archives. That fork we saw earlier didn't really exist. It was an illusion built by Edda's human form, using Tydogen to split us up. With Sapphire's help, I mean, Edda's digital form, that's her new name, we forced a path straight to you.
じゃあ、カーシアさんとサフィールは
Oh, and she's already calling her Sapphire. Once Sapphire reclaimed control of the body, she remembered there was another avatar. She and Katya rushed ahead to intercept her at the archives. As we ran, Tess filled me in. Edda's perfect human form can channel manifestation powers, and by her account, it's far more powerful than the version Katya and I fought earlier. Doesn't matter. The archives are just up ahead. Oop. Gunfire cut me off, and I thought I heard Sapphire shout. Tess and I exchanged a tense glance, then sprinted toward the sounds. At the archive's main gate, the battle was already in full swing. Katya and Sapphire reached the gate just in time to catch Etta's perfect human form working the seal, and the fight kicked off on the spot. オーディンの決断. Judgment of Odin. Ooh. 9 bolts of lightning tore through the air, streaking toward Katya and Sapphire like bloodthirsty hounds.
元チャンピオンの技まで
Isn't that our Miss Champion's signature move? I am assuming. Yeah. Life's ability. Katya darted aside, drew her Gatling gun, and unleashed a volley. But every round froze mid-air, absorbed by some unseen force before they could land.
ねえあいつみたいに強い技が使えたりしないの
Oh, brat, don't just stand there. Do something useful.
ねえじゃなくてサフィール
Sapphire, how many times do I have to tell you? I could imagine the adjutant making these two partners just to watch them fight. Her mouth ran as usual, but her heart was racing. Every blast of Titagen she threw out got snuffed by the enemy like a spark in a storm.
相手は覚醒者の力にタイタン物質を操る力ばかりかハッキングもできる規格外だよ
She's got
私が叶うはずないじゃない
She's got manifestation.
もう
Ooh.
なんで私は一つしか能力がないの
Nande. She's got manifestation powers and full Titagen control. Probably hacking every bot too. This fight is so rigged. Why'd I end up with just one crummy skill?
そうか一つしか能力がないの
Uh,
はこの体を奪ったからだ
right. I hijacked this body, severed the host link. That's why. The thought gave her a strange sense of peace.
シャキッとしなさい
Right focus. She's not quite as powerful as she used to be. A lightning bolt cracked down, missing Sapphire by a handspan. Katya lunged and yanked Sapphire clear by the collar.
面白いじゃないそのテレポートの力神格から与えられたものじゃないみたいね
Fascinating. That little warp of yours. It's not from a Deimos, is it? Katya offered no reply. Etta just gave a small shake of her head, as if disappointed.
ならこれはどう
No, I get you. I'm liking this this dynamic of theirs, how they're just constantly bickering back and forth. I think they make a good duo. They're sort of like the Tsukomi and Boke and Tsukome. I think that's what it is. The comedy duo, where one's like the funny man and the other's the straight man. Very well. Let's try something else.
モリガンの国営
Shadows of Morrigan. If I'm not mistaken, that's Celtic. At her whisper, 2 mirror images, shadow clones, peeled away from her form. Perfect phantoms, down to the last feather.
分身した
Bunshin shita Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Sapphire's eyes widened, but no matter how hard she stared, she couldn't tell the copies from the original. All 3 raised their hands at once, and lightning screamed down. Sapphire clumsily dove for the ground, rolling away in a panic.
やめてよその顔
Oh, don't give me
実
that.
力は向こうが圧倒的なんだから仕方ないでしょ
Her counters are a hard count. Her powers are a hard counter to mine. What do you want me to do?
だったらもっと離れてなさいあなたに何かあったら彼に合わせる顔がないわ
Then back off. If you get hurt, I'm the one who has to explain it to the adjutant. Oh boy. Katya sprang forward, arcing through the air in a clean, lethal line. Gunfire rained down from above, tearing 2 of the phantoms to shreds mid-air. Under the storm of bullets, Etta gave up the chase and turned her full attention to Katya.
生きてる
Giteru. Whoo, good job. Sapphire slumped to the ground, winded but intact. Katya was tangled in a fierce clash with Etta, every second a razor's edge. Watching them, Sapphire racked her brain for ways to help. Then, with a deep inhale and no better plan, Tasukete! I like that her plan is just to call the adjutant for help. That's far enough. My shot skimmed past Etta's perfect form's cheek. She turned toward me, her face careless as ever.
あなたが分析員?
Oh, so she doesn't actually know who I am. So, you're the adjutant. Only then did she notice Tess, trailing close behind me.
覚醒者。まだ生きてたんだ。
So you survived after all, manifestation.
1、
Ooh.
3、4。
Yon. 1, 2, 3, 4.
4人の相手をするの?
Do I really have to deal with 4 of you at once? Yes. It might have been my imagination, but it almost sounded like she sighed.
本体は1人倒せばいいって言ったのに。
The host said there'd only be one target.
つべこべ言わずにやっちゃえ。
Oh, there's the original. The Etta that I kinda hate. Don't waste time, finish them, now. A crimson phantom finally revealed itself. It had been watching, waiting.
制限をすべて解除してあげる。もっともっと力を上げるから、絶対に全員を倒してきて。
Oh wait, so she's actually trying to kill us this time.
わかった。
Wakata. Understood. The perfect human form raised her hand slowly. You're mistaken about one thing, Etta.
え?
Eh? You think there are only 4 of us? That's where you're wrong. You're up against far more than that, Etta. Are we calling the others in?
9分55秒。59分56秒。
Right! I completely forgot about Freetia! She was doing something for us. Beneath the remnants of the tree in Philosia, Freetia stared anxiously at the timer ticking on her terminal.
57、58、59。
59, 59, 60. The moment it hit 60, she slammed the button she had been clutching white-knuckled for the past hour. The makeshift device in front of her hummed to life. One line snaked into the tree's remains. The other led to a compact memory unit nestled inside. The confinement serum. Contained within that memory unit was a one-of-a-kind kill command. A theoretical failsafe capable of crashing any AI system. Even Freetia couldn't say for sure it'd work on Etta.
お願い、今日から1年間ミルクティーとエナドリを飲まないようにするから、
Oh,
分析員の計画を成功させて。
I'll give up milk tea and energy drinks for a whole year. How much of an addict do you have to be for that to be considered bad? Just let the adjutant's plan work. Normally, a devout believer in science, Freetia clasped her hands in a sincere, if desperate, prayer. Mistletoe Station. At the station's heart lay the main control room, the place Etta called home. Ever since she forged a human vessel using a Mori fragment, she had occasionally wandered the inner and outer rings. But more often, she stood at the main control room's viewport, gazing through reinforced glass at the distant blue planet. Even though streams of sensory data from her remote avatar updated her on every movement down on the surface, she still preferred watching with her own eyes. You're up against far more than that, Etta. Both the Etta aboard the station and her avatar on the ground were momentarily stunned by the words. Then it hit her. Oh, what's going on here? I'm assuming she's sifting. Yep. A torrent of corrupted code surged out from the tree, riding the uplink and crashing straight into Mistletoe Station's core systems. Straight into her. Oh boy. Errors bloomed like a virus across her HUD. Warning windows overlapped, multiplying, blotting out her vision completely. Even a basic system check stalled at 0%. Since the first descent, the AI known as Etta had never shut down. Until now. So she shut down. Her ground-based avatar had no idea what just happened. The familiar hologram of her host vanished without warning. No surge of power came. Instead, her strength was draining away fast. Panic drove her toward the archive gates, but Katya was already standing in her path.
残念だけど、もうここまでよ。
Zannen dakedo, tough luck. No exit this way.
おままごとは終わりだ。だったっけ？
Omamoto owarida. Game over. Sound familiar?
あれ？もう呪文を唱えなくていいの？
Forgot all those flashy spells of yours. Tess and Sapphire flanked Katya, sealing off every escape route.
そんな。どうやって？
Doyatte. It can't end like this. The sudden reversal hit her too fast, too hard to process. Finish her. After what she did to Tess, there's no way I'd let her walk away. No. There has to be another way. The perfect human form never gives up, not even when the plan collapses. With the enemy closing in, she ransacked her memory for a lifeline and found a thread of hope.
本体がくれた学院の情報に、アクロポリス学院書庫のセキュリティシステムについてのことが入ってた。
The Acropolis system. The host once said there's an independent security system here. So, seizing on the thought, she bolted for the archives entrance. Weren't we blocking her off? Gunfire and Titagen blasts tore into her body, scorching holes through her flesh, but she never once slowed.
セキュリティシステムの管理権限を奪わなくちゃ。
I must take control of the security system now. She was too weak to fight, but hacking? That was still within reach. The moment she burst through the entrance, how could we even let her burst through the entrance? Can't Katya, like, use fragmentation? Whatever. The moment she burst through the entrance, a handshake signal flared across her interface. Her mind snapped into overdrive. Firewalls crumbled under her intrusion one after another, until something pushed back. Faint but
お
undeniable.
かしい。システムログにアクセス履歴が残ってる。
The access logs of someone,
すで
some
に他の
AI,
人工知能が接続してるってこと。
has already been here. Ooh. That seems like a plot thread that will be used in later chapters, but there is no time to dwell on it. With the adjutant and 3 manifestations closing in, this system was her only
接
shot.
続。終了。
Honestly speaking, I'm surprised we granted her enough time to actually do all this. In a flash, her body disintegrated into data, streaming straight into the archive security
人間
system.
どもめ。自分たちの生み出した怪物とやり合うがいい。
Something tells me this will be far easier than facing her when she was at her actual full strength. So, and I'm guessing this is it, the last battle, endgame. Boss fight. And it's gonna be Katya and Tess. Too bad we can't have Sapphire as like a trial character. Civilization Guardians. So, gun, sword, dual blades, hammer.
Security protocol engaged. Target, eliminate intruders.
Seriously? The real intruders just walked right in!
1, 2,
He's
3.
already taking control of them.
Then let's destroy them. Fast and clean.
Roop.
Let's finish this in one go.
Honestly speaking, this is so easy. Alright, last one. Oh wait, are we gonna have to fight all of them now? No.
Break time? Don't need it. Get ready for a roar of bullets.
Okay. What am I doing here? There.
Watch this. My arms are a little sore.
There. And all he's got is a handgun.
Is it? Adjutant, watch out.
Wonder where Sapphire is in this. Chief. Who is that talking?
I've seen her before.
Hmm? So this is a person in there? Wait, what? No, wait, what?
I'll win for you, just like always.
So...
見覚えがあるわ。
So who is it? Katya's words threw me for a moment. Just as I was about to finish off the last combat android, its faceplate flickered, and a human face appeared. So, who is this? Not just Katya. I recognized her too. But the memories wouldn't align. My thoughts scattered, desperately trying to connect, fragments that refused to form a whole. All I felt was a surge of emotion, but I couldn't place it.
分析あの人間体書庫に逃げ込んだみたい
Oh shit. So while we were busy dealing with this, the perfect human form ran into the heart of the archives. Sapphire's voice snapped me back. Whatever that face meant, it didn't matter. Not now. Stopping Edda's perfect human form came first. Even if she'd already found the book, Edda should still be under the confinement serum's effect, unable to transmit. If we could take out her avatar before she recovered, we might still win this. Sapphire, keep your eyes on the android. I shot her a quick signal, then turned and charged into the depths of the archives, with Katya and Tess right behind me. Edda's perfect human form still hadn't figured out what had happened. The androids controlled by her had failed to take down the adjutant, but she should have had time to escape. Yet, at her weakest moment, another unknown intruder hijacked the security system. Oh, and it's whoever this is. She was forcefully ejected, her mind yanked back into her body, back in the archives. In that instant, she knew. Her plan had failed, hopelessly. But one question lingered in her mind. What was written in the book the host had so desperately sought? Even in defeat, even cut off with no chance of reaching the host, the question gnawed at her. She was just as desperate to find the answer as the host was. As her androids lunged at the adjutant, she turned and ran the other way, toward the book. It consumed her thoughts, the only thing that mattered now. By the time we reached the heart of the archives, Etta's perfect human form was already slumped on the floor. Thick tomes were scattered carelessly like trash, and in her hands, a black-covered
どう
book.
やら目的の本を見つけたようね。
So, Mokuteki no Hon, book. Hon is book. I advanced cautiously, gun raised. She didn't move. There she sat, entranced, eyes glued to the open pages as if she hadn't noticed us at all. And she's lost it. Her chilling laughter grew clearer as I stepped closer. Then, she lowered the book, rising to her
あな
feet.
たの完全勝利だよ、分析員。
You win, Adjutant. She looked at me, her smile empty, drained of hope.
こんな小細工で本体をここまで欺けるなんて。
What a disgrace. For the host to fall for a ruse like this. So, I am assuming whatever it was she sought was not what she was expecting.
結局偽りの人間は本物に勝てないみたい。
I guess imitation really can't surpass the real thing after all.
本体のことがかわいそうにすら思えてきたよ。
I pity her. Okay, so... Etta's an imitation? She raised her hand, and Titagen surged across her arm, forming a sharp, deadly blade. Tess and Katya immediately moved to shield me, but I already knew what was coming. Without hesitation, she plunged the blade into her own chest. Not a sound escaped her lips. She simply crumbled to the floor, as lifeless as a puppet with its strings cut. Silence settled over the chamber, until Katya stepped forward and picked up the book lying beside her. She frowned at the cover, then shook her head and passed it to me.
これ刺繍よ。
So, all this time, I'm assuming someone led Etta on, convincing her to get this book only for it to be a complete hoax. She was right. The book Etta had risked everything to obtain was a dusty, forgotten anthology from the last century. I suspected it hadn't been digitized, not due to any secrecy, but because no one had thought it worth preserving. On the open page, the author, writing in the imagined voice of an AI, posed a question to humanity. If I am your mirror, then who is the phantom that stares back? Blood from Etta's wound had soaked most of the paper. Beyond that, there was nothing remarkable about the book. I stared at her still form in silence. All of this for a tragedy that teetered on the edge of the absurd. By the time we emerged from the archives, the info storm over Philosia had completely dissipated. Most of the campus security bots had powered down or resumed their regular patrols. The Titans, some had been taken down by Vidya while evacuating the students. Others vanished the moment Etta went offline. My terminal flooded with messages of relief from the girls. Despite being in different locations, their voices shared the same excitement and joy.
フィロゾアのデンドロンはアトム残さず完全に消えたよ。
So the tree in Philosia, it's completely gone. Not a trace left.
学院の近くに残ってるタイタン物質を全部消せば、フィロゾア地域はタイタン汚染から完全に脱するんだ。
If we can eliminate the remaining Titagen around the Acropolis, the entire Philosia region will finally be free of contamination. I wonder if that's something the Acropolis would be happy for, considering how much research they had been doing.
あなた、エリアゼロと他封鎖エリアの状況も落ち着いてきた。
The situation in Aleph and the other containment zones are under control as well.
地上者はあ
Good.
なたの予想通り、我々の隙を狙って封鎖エリアに入り込もうとした。幸い軍の協力によってそれを阻止できた。
Just like you expected, the Demiurges tried to infiltrate the zones, while we were distracted. But with military support, they failed.
フィロゾアの方に集中してくれ。こっちは私に任せろ。
Give me a second here. Focus on Philosia for now. Don't worry about home. I've got everything covered here.
分析員さん、ずっと待ってましたよ。
So, I will say I like Vidya, but she's probably my least favorite.
もう
So
無事
far.
解決したんですか？もう生徒たちを連れ戻しても大丈夫でしょうか？
Is everything back to normal there? Can I take these students back now? I replied to the messages one by one. Only after they saw my face, exhausted but unharmed, did they finally let go, content and reassured.
人間の世界って素晴らしいね。
Subarashi ne. The real world is so beautiful. I would have used the word utsukushi. So, Subarashi does not actually mean this. Subarashi is sort of like great, excellent, amazing. So if they wanted to translate this into beautiful, I would have used if they wanted to translate this more accurately, I would have used a different word than beautiful. Sapphire skipped across the lawn like a rabbit set free, tumbling in pure bliss. It was her first time feeling real grass underfoot, and judging by the look on her face, she'd already fallen in love with it. Everything around me blurred, as if the world had been softened by a filter. I rubbed my eyes instinctively. I've been drawing heavily on my mental strength. Though only a few hours had passed since I entered the underground, it felt like days without sleep.
分析員、
疲れたでしょ。帰ってゆっくりと休みましょう。
You look exhausted. Come on, time for some proper
はいはい。
rest.
学院に連絡したんだけど、泊まる部屋を用意してくれたみたい。
I think I know what the adjutant needs, and it's a lap pillow. This way, follow me. I just contacted the Acropolis. They have arranged accommodations for us. Luckily, I wasn't alone. In the days that followed, faculty and students of the Academica Acropolis returned to the main campus in waves. Raitia threw herself into restoring her alma mater. With one of the Acropolis's legendary alumni at the helm, morale soared, and reconstruction sped ahead like a
こ
whirlwind.
れからエレベーターのボタンはすべて横並びにすること。これで小柄な生徒も上の階層のボタンが押せるようになるんだ。
From now on, all elevator buttons go sideways. That way, shorter students can reach the upper floors too. Raitia, always thinking about size.
先輩、さすがですわ。
Sasuga senpai, you're a genius, Miss Fritia.
分析員さん。
Sasuga.
はい。
Ooh, smile for the camera. Jeez. Once I'd recovered, I took Vidya back out to sea, to that picturesque spot, and she finally took that long-awaited photo with me. She had found her sea legs at last. Not even a one-legged pose at the bow could shake her.
今度の撮影計画は分析員さんとの世界一周船旅ハネムーンドキュメンタリーにしますね。
My next project's gonna be a globe-trotting honeymoon documentary starring us. Wow. Easy there, Vidya. You just got over your fear of boats. And just like that, the crisis in Philosia came to a close. A clear victory, at least on the surface. But unsettling questions still gnawed at me. Why had Etta been so obsessed with those books? Curiosity alone didn't add up. Every step she took felt precise, purposeful, like someone following intel from a trusted source. And setting aside her motives, who was it that, in those final moments, wrested control of the androids from Etta's perfect human form? She had called me Chief, a title only ever used by those who served under me, back when I led the security department. So someone who knew him back then. Those questions pulled me back. Before I knew it, I was once again standing at the entrance to the underground archives. My surprise, someone was already there. Someone familiar. You're the archives director, right? At the sound of my voice, the blonde turned slightly, not quite facing me, but toward the
そ
sound.
の声どこかで聞いたような。失礼ですが、どなたでしょうか？
You sound familiar. Forgive me, I can't seem to place it. May I ask your name? I'm the adjutant from Yggdrasil.
学院を救ってくれたあのヒーローの方ですか。
So you're the one credited with saving the Acropolis.
ご存知の通り、私はこの学院のキュレーターで、書庫の管理者も務めています。
As you've recognized, yes, I serve the archives director. It's my responsibility to oversee and preserve the institution's entire collection. I'm assuming she is somehow important. I glanced at the blindfold she wore, unsure whether I should ask about it. Chances are she knows now.
困惑しているようですね。
Yep, I assume you're curious about my eyes, Adjutant. She offered me a soft, disarming
お
smile,
察しの通り、私は目が見えません。
though she was
生
born
まれた
blind.
からこそ、私はキュレーターを任せられました。
But that blindness is what made me the ideal choice for the archives director. How does that work?
学院の規定上、キュレーターは目の見えない人にしか務まりません。
It's an old tradition at the Acropolis. Every archives director must be blind, I assume, so they don't read the tomes? That sounds inconvenient. Why?
一般的な図書館と違って、学院の書庫にある蔵書の大半は、人類文明に必要とされた時以外、貸し出し不可です。
Unlike a typical library, most of the books here are not meant to be seen by the public. They are to be accessed only when humanity stands to gain from their knowledge, and yet one of those books was just poetry.
本が保管される時に、一度名前と位置を記憶しますが、それから数十年、100年以上経ても読まれないことはよくあります。
I memorize each title and its precise resting place when it arrives. Once cataloged, they rest in silence for decades, sometimes centuries.
目が見えないので、貴重な本たちから最も近い場所にいる私たちは、本に書かれている禁忌に触れることも、外部に漏らすこともありません。
As the one closest to such dangerous and valuable knowledge, it's crucial that I remain unable to access it. My blindness ensures that. Then how does she memorize the names? Does someone else tell them to her? In which case, wouldn't they have access to it? I'm a little
そして
confused.
ハッキング防止のため、私には補助擬態がついていません。
I also carry no augmentations. Ooh, excuse me. No bionic eyes, no implants to eliminate any risk of external intrusion or data linkage. That's hard to
ヒロゾア
comprehend.
人の知恵に対する畏敬と思っていただければ幸いです。
You might say it's Philosia's way of showing reverence for knowledge. Still, if electronics aren't allowed down here, how do those combat androids even
バト
function?
ルドールたちは戦闘機能のみを持っています。
It
活性化されると
operates...
破壊されるまで戦い続けます。
Okay, but they're still electronic. That's
分
insane.
析員さん、知識を求めるためにここに来たんですよね。
Take it you returned with a purpose. Is there something you wish to
よけれ
know?
ば教えてください。あなた様のために全力を尽くしましょう。
If you're able to tell me, I'll do all I can to assist you. Well, in that case, do you store anything besides books here? Files, records?
寄贈者の意向に応じて重要な心情調書を保管する場合もございます。
If a donor requests it, we do archive important documents. Then, I'd like to know if there's a file here. On me. She bowed her head slightly, thoughtful.
もう一度お名前をお伺いしても？
Just to confirm, may I have your name?
なるほど。
Understood.
確かに
Yes.
聞き覚えのある名前ですね。
I believe I've heard that name
つ
before.
いてきてください。
Suitekte kudasai. Please follow me. Let's see now. I followed her once again into the depths of the archives. For someone blind, her footsteps were remarkably sure and graceful. At each bend in the path, she pivoted with near-perfect accuracy. We walked for nearly 3 minutes before she stopped before a row of
5
shelves.
段目の一番右にある封筒を取ってください。
Can you help me retrieve the folder on the rightmost side of the 5th shelf? I glanced up, and there it was, just as she had said. Your memory is remarkable. I marveled as I lifted the
役目を
folder.
果たしたまでです。
It's simply part of the job, sir.
さて、お目当てのものでしたら、ここから左の突き当たりに閲覧室がございます。
I kind of wonder
そ
about
こで
this
内
lady.
容を確認した後、机に置いて自由にご退出ください。
Now that you have what you need, go left and follow the hallway to the end. You'll find a reading room there. Feel free to use it and leave the file once you are finished.
私はこの辺で。
では、私はこの辺で. She'll take her leave. She bowed lightly before departing. Thank you, ma'am. Alright, let's see what this says. The moment I took hold of the folder, my eyes locked on the signature scrawled across the cover. My signature. Yet my memory gave me nothing. No spark, no flicker, not even a hint. Dread curled in my chest. I broke into a hurried run, the folder clutched tight, racing into the reading room. What would I find inside? Ports? Letters? Classified files? My heart tightened with every terrifying possibility as I flipped it open. Probably a message. Oh, nope, a picture of the girl. But what lay inside was a photograph. And he still has his glasses on. A girl with a gentle smile standing beside me. She was the same girl who had seized control of the combat androids. In that instant, memories crashed over me. I remember buying the camera, hiding it in the perfect spot in my room. Yet everything about her remained blank, a haunting void where memories should be. Wonderful. More questions and still no answers. I sighed and raised my terminal, steeling myself to scan the photo. Then, I heard footsteps approaching. I looked up and standing in the doorway was the girl from the photograph.
やっぱりここにいたんですね。
Oh, so who is this? She walked over without waiting for an invitation and sat down beside me. You look... She looked exactly like the girl in the photo.
はい、体を取り戻しました。バトルドールたちのいた閉鎖された倉庫に保存されていました。
I recovered my physical body. It had been kept in the sealed vault with the rest of the combat androids,
その前
so...
は私の意識が書庫のセキュリティシステムに接続されていたので、バトルドールをコントロールしていました。
Before that, I linked my consciousness to the archive's security system. That's how I gained control of them.
私は
Oh.
多分ヒューマノイドだと思います。
Watashi wa tabun humanoido. So, watashi wa was the particle to connect. So, watashi wa humanoido, I'm guessing is synthetic. Her gem-like eyes met mine. If I hadn't seen that same face reflected in the androids, I'd never have believed she wasn't human.
ですが名前も立場もも
Ah,
う思い出せません。
but my name, my identity, it's all
覚え
gone.
ているのは、あなたは私の部長で最も信頼している方ということだけ。
The only thing I remember is you, my chief, and that I trusted you more than anyone. Huh. A rueful smile tugged at my lips. So this was what it had come to. Two memory-wiped strangers playing a guessing game with a snapshot. I guess we're taking her back with us. I glanced back at the picture. That's when she leaned in and gently placed her fingers at my
確
temples.
かこうすると嬉しいんですね。
I remember, you used to like this. The warmth of her touch, the gentle pressure. It was achingly familiar. I'm sure of it now. I mean, we met before. Obviously, we have a picture of her with me with her. I looked up at her and smiled. She tilted her head in quiet confusion and smiled back. In the sunlight, something shimmered. A silver pendant resting against her chest. That's when I noticed it. She was nearly identical to the girl in the photo. Every feature matched, except for one thing. That pendant. It wasn't in the picture. A strong intuition stirred in me. May I see that pendant? She nodded without hesitation and unclasped it, placing it in my hand. Just as I thought. This wasn't just a piece of jewelry. It was a compact memory unit. Small and sleek, its build strikingly similar to Cirrus's recorder pen, a device clearly designed for capturing audio. As my fingers brushed the back, a soft chime played. Fingerprint verified. I already had a feeling what I was about to hear. This is the adjutant. It was unmistakably my voice. I leave this recording as an answer for my future self. I am entrusting it to Luna for safekeeping. Luna. I glanced at the girl beside me, but she gave no sign of recognition. Her gaze remained fixed on the memory unit, unfazed. Now, before I leave for Mistletoe Station, I've prepared for the worst. If I fall to Etta, it could extract every classified detail from my memories. To prevent that, I have to hide this knowledge and Luna's existence ahead of time.
あなたはただのコマ。しかも捨て駒として宿り木宇宙ステーションに行かされたって考えたことはない？
Mini flashback to when she called me a disposable piece.
ユグドラシルがあなたにしたことはあなたが思ってるよりもずっとひどいんだよ。
So this is what she meant. I'm assuming. My memory's gone. The last time I faced Etta came rushing back to my mind, and I recalled the taunting words it had said to me. When it found out my memories had been tampered with, it must have believed Yggdrasil had tricked me. But it'd never guess I was the one who planned it all. The plan calls for planting a seed, a false idea in my own mind, one that will make me believe something vital is hidden on the campus of the Acropolis, specifically in the undigitized books of the archives. Etta has never had access to them, so it won't be able to confirm whether they really contain any useful knowledge. And that kind of uncertainty, or a being governed by logic, is a critical flaw. It is the only crack I can exploit. If Etta believes the Academica Acropolis holds something of value, it won't dare destroy it, which means, even if the world falls, this sanctuary of human knowledge will remain. No matter how many battles we lose, as long as civilization endures, so does hope. Even if Etta someday uncovers the truth, even if it reads every page and realizes it has been tricked, by then, it will already be too late. We'll have bought precious time. I'm going through with this plan because I trust that my future self will see things the same way. Indeed, I had assumed correctly. A chess match, spanning 5 long years, and at last I had seen the entire board. From the start, Etta had been wrong. Deeply, fatally wrong. In this long game, I had been both the hand and the pawn. To beat Etta, I had deceived everyone, even myself. I thought of Etta's perfect human form, in her final moments, the look in her eyes when she opened that book. That's when she must have realized she and the host had both been played, so I'm the one who played her. Holy fuck. And the worst part? She had no way of warning Etta. That was probably what truly broke her. And now, Etta will go on believing the archives still hold what it seeks, which means it won't dare strike with force. It was a trap I had laid for an artificial mind. A checkmate with no way out. I don't particularly enjoy that sentence. I don't know if you guys know this, but a checkmate is basically, it means there's no way out. If it was just a check, there'd be a way out, but a checkmate basically is no way out, so that's like a very redundant sentence. The author in me wants to smack whoever wrote that. Lastly, beside myself and Luna, only Tao knows of this plan. But Tao and I have made a promise. If I ever return from Mistletoe Station, she will never acknowledge her part in it, even if I regain my memories, and I will never speak of it. To keep Etta in the dark, we'll take this secret to our graves. As for Luna, all records of her have been erased from Yggdrasil's database. It wasn't difficult, because she is special. Only she can make the ultimate sacrifice this plan requires. As the final failsafe, Luna's physical body will be stored in the Acropolis, her consciousness uploaded to its security system. She was born there, and in the end, she will return there. She doesn't have to follow me into the fire aboard Mistletoe Station. This is the best ending I can give her. With that, the recording ended. For a long moment, I said nothing. Then, slowly, I raised my head. Luna. I handed the memory unit back to her. Does any of this ring a bell? As expected, she shook her head.
すみません、部長。私、
Bucho,
何も覚えていません。
I wish I could help. It's not your fault. Don't blame yourself. I want you to come back with Yggdrasil with me. There are still things we need to check together. I stood and offered her my hand.
はい、部長についていきます。
Right, wherever you go, Chief, I'll follow. So it looks like the adjutant gained 2 more members of his harem in this chapter. A dainty hand settled into mine. Unlike any other girl's, her hand was icy, delicate and brittle, like it might shatter with the slightest squeeze. So familiar, and yet so distant. By the time we emerged from the underground, the sky was already dark. In the distance, 2 silhouettes stood waiting. One glance, and I already knew who they were. Luna, did you head back to the outpost without me? I've got something to take care of.
はい、部長。
Hi, Bucho. Yes, Chief. As Luna faded into the darkness, does she even know where the outpost is? I turned and walked toward the waiting figures, pretending not to notice them. Boo. Before I could reach them, Tess leapt out from behind a small bush, hoping to startle me.
分析員、びっくりした？
So, bikuri means surprise, not scare. Bikuri shita. Did I scare you?
顔を見ればわかるでしょ。
Judging
とっく
from
に
the
気
look
づ
on
い
his
てたのよ。
face, I'd say he knew you were coming.
ちゃんと隠れられてると思ったのに。
What? But I thought I hid really well. You were standing behind a tiny bush. I chuckled and reached out, taking their hands. Shouldn't you two be busy handling the Titagen contamination at the Acropolis? What are you doing out here?
あのね、分析員。
Anone.
もう夜の11時だよ。
It's 11 o'clock at night.
自分の男が外で何をしてるのか
You've been
気になって
totally out
様
of
子
it
見に来ちゃ
lately.
ダメ？
We figured it was time to check on our man. Oh my. I guess I got a little too carried away lately.
え？何を探してたの？
So, care to tell us what you've been digging into these days? My past. I paused for a moment, then turned to Katya. Back in the archives, you said you'd met that girl before, right?
ええ。傭兵時代、
Mm.
初めてあなたと作戦に出た時、紹介してくれたわ。
Okay.
確か、ルナっていう子だっけ？
So, we knew Katya from before, I'm assuming before chapter 1. Because I'm guessing that our memories are wiped out before chapter 1. During our mission together, back when I was a mercenary, you introduced her to me as your assistant. Luna, right?
でもあれ以降、名前を聞かなくなったから。
After that, you never mentioned her again. I thought you might find this hard to believe. In my memory, it was just the 2 of us on that op. Their disbelief was written plain on their faces. Don't worry, I'll fill you in. The whole story. Back in our room, with Katya and Tess beside me, I told them everything I had uncovered in the archives. As I shared Luna's backstory, shock swept across their faces. But when I explained the trap I'd set for Etta, their reactions surprised me. They both understood immediately.
確かに分析員らしいね。ことあるごとに自分を犠牲にしたがるのって。
That's so you, Adjutant, putting yourself on the line, betting everything you've got on one final move. So, It sounds to me like the adjutant of the past is really no different from the adjutant they know now.
でも分析
What adjutant?
計画は誰にも教えちゃダメって録音で言ったでしょ
Didn't that recording say you weren't supposed to tell anyone? Back then, Luna was the only person I could trust. Things are different now. Now, I have both of you. Whatever comes next, I'm not facing it alone. You've told me before that something about me helped you face your fears. Now, it's my turn to say this. Katya, Tess, you've changed me too, in ways I never saw coming. Maybe fate's been nudging us this whole time, leading us to meet before the descent, and end up here in Philosia together. And to mark everything we've been through, I've got something for you both. I reached into my coat and pulled out 2 rings. Gently, I slid one onto each of their fingers. Their eyes widened in surprise. See? I haven't just been wandering around. I even planned a proper ceremony for our covenant. Oh, those are quite the surprise faces. I think I like this. I think I like Katya's the best. She looks kind of like she just got smacked in the face. Super surprised. Words could no longer capture the depth of what we shared. Still, I laid my heart bare.
分析員ってこういう時に限ってロマンティックなんだよね。
I will say, though, I like her blushing face the best. Tess has a good blush. She leaned her head on my shoulder, eyes twinkling as she admired the ring on her finger.
うまいことを言って自分が緊張してるのを隠してるんでしょ
She's probably got it. He's probably trying to hide how nervous he is with shiny gifts. With a content smile, Katya brushed a kiss against my cheek.
この時のために返事を考えておいてよかったわ
Good thing I already figured out what I'd say in a moment like this, back when we fought side by side.
私の一番眩しい理想として
Oh. You've always been my brightest dream,
私の一番信頼できる現実として
and my most reliable anchor to reality. That's pretty deep.
これからもずっと
私を
そばにいて
幸せにして
あれ
何
You stay by my side no matter where the road takes us. The past, the present, the future. Countless questions still lingered. What does it mean to be human? What gives us purpose? How do we save the ones we love? I didn't have perfect answers. But I knew this much. Even if the path ahead is lined with thorns, I've walked it this far, and I'll keep walking. Just for tonight, though, let me set it all aside. Let me cherish this quiet, starlit moment with the 2 girls who mean the world to me. And thus, they probably smashed. Okay, so first off, I'm gonna grab all of this. Name all that. And I'm guessing there's more here. What is this? What is this? Oh. It was a memory long buried. For the sake of that final victory, you forced yourself to forget. But now, the time has come. Time to return to the spring of 2056, before the descent, before it all began, and raise your glass. Whatever was about to unfold, it was your story and yours alone. But remember, every choice you make will shape their fate. Kanpai! Cheers. Glass met glass with a crisp, clean chime. Under the bar's hazy lights, the deep red liquid caught the glow and shimmered temptingly.
やっぱりここの味が一番最高ですね
It sounds like Luna's quite the drinker. The house special still hits just right.
部長、あれだけすごいことを成し遂げたのに、
Why
なん
the
で
long
薬とも
face,
しないんですか？
You
もうちょっと笑ってくださいよ。
You just pulled off a major win. Come on, give me a smile, will ya? She reached forward, playful, like she meant to tug a grin onto my lips. I caught her hand before she could.
些細な手がかりから合輪団の拠点を見つけて、15名を逮捕、人質を1人救出したんですよ。安全部全体の歴史からしてもすごいことですから。
We tracked the Adventist hideout from a single thread of intel, took down 15 of them, and rescued a hostage to top it off. That's gotta be a record breaker in security department history, right? By anyone else's standards, this would absolutely call for a serious celebration. What's the status on the hostage?
安心してください。会社で治療を受けていますよ。
Relax. She's receiving treatment back in Yggdrasil. Has her identity been confirmed?
いいえ、
No.
確認したんですが、
Yeah.
ミッドガルドのデータベースには入っていません。
I checked myself. Midgard's database turned up nothing.
他地区のデータを照合するとなると、さらに時間がかかります。
If she's not local, it might take time to trace her.
しばらくは会社にいると思うので、見舞いに行きますか？
Looks like she'll be sticking with us for a while. So, Chief, are you going to visit her? I guess so. Oh! Is that Katya? I remembered the small, trembling figure curled up in the dark. When I pulled her out, she felt weightless, barely heavier under the blanket I wrapped her in. No, let's not involve her in anything Adventist related again. She's been through enough. There's no reason to risk reopening that trauma.
わかりました。でも部長ってほんと仕事にしか興味がないんですね。嬉しそうにしてるところ見たことないですし。
She's starting to think I'm
もしかして
the adjutant's a
会社
security
が開発し
bot.
た安全ロボットなんですか？
Robotoなんですか? You know what? I kind of agree. He's a bit of a wet blanket. It was just part of the job. Nothing worth celebrating over.
でも仕事以外の趣味って特にないんですよね。
Good question. Does he have any hobbies? She wasn't wrong. Ever since joining Yggdrasil, I had thrown myself completely into the work and rose through the ranks faster than anyone before me. But the price was clear. I'd nearly forgotten how to live outside of it. No wonder he's so boring. I still catch the Valkyrie games when I get the chance. My gaze drifted toward the center of the bar, where a hollow screen shimmered with the 7th Valkyrie Games live feed.
部長が試合を見るのもこれからの仕事のためにあらかじめ会場の状況とスタッフの位置を確認してるんですよね。
Let's be real. The only reason you watch these matches is to analyze venue layouts, and map out hypothetical security routes. How boring do you have to be for that to be your reason to watch this? Sometimes I really wish you'd stop using your psyche background on me, Luna. I took a long sip from my glass, then slid hers over. A subtle way of quieting her down for a moment. She joined me just last year, fresh out from the Academica Acropolis. Bright, intuitive, sharp in operations, comms, even fieldwork. If only she'd apply that same precision to personal boundaries, especially with me.
私の前でわざわざ取り繕う必要はないですよ。
Watashi no mae de. Come on, Chief, you don't have to hold back on around me.
本当に試合に興味があるんでしたら、今生中継に映ってる2人の選手の名前を言えますか？
Oh, it's time. If you really knew about the games, can you name the two duking it out on the screen? Probably not. Wait, is that Fenny in Life? That's Fenny in Life, I'm pretty sure. I followed her pointing finger to the display, where two contestants were locked in a fierce firefight. The silver-haired one. Calm demeanor. It's gotta be... Life.
知ってたんですね。
That's my future wife you're talking about. Last year's champion. I remember that much. Her opponent was a golden-haired girl in ornate gear, where life moved with precision and control. This one fought like fireworks. That's Fenny, right? Hard to forget someone like her. Called it. I called it! I knew that was Fenny in life.
はい、去年の準優勝ですね。
Now, what about that tiny tot right over there? I can barely see her.
今年再戦するということで、注目の対戦カードですよ。
Looks like the viewer count's already higher.
視聴者数も
Finals
去
last
年の
year.
人数を超えてますし。
Bora. Runner up, huh? Watching that confident grin bloom across Fenny's face, I caught myself smiling too, without even noticing. So even back then, the adjutant knew Fenny was best girl. We sat and watched the game in companionable silence for a moment. Then I gave a faint shake of my head. Not much tactical use here.
もちろんですよ。民間人を客層にした競技ゲームですし、私たちとはやり方が違います。
Well, it's a public sports match. Their way of fighting isn't like ours at all. Right. They're nothing like us. I poured myself another drink and knocked it back in one go. Two different worlds. They live in the spotlight. I work behind the scenes. No way our paths would ever cross. Not now, not ever.
そこまでの話ではないと思いますが。
Listen to Luna, Adjutant, you never know. Luna was just about to argue when her headset lit up with a sharp tone. We both frowned. After hours comms were never good news. She flicked open her holo display, scanned it quickly, then gave me a resigned nod.
タオさんに呼ばれてますよ。行きましょう。
The boss wants you back on deck, Chief. God damn it. Alright. I'm sure the workaholic in him is fine. Midgard always seemed stagnant. That thought crossed my mind again as I stared out the hovercraft window. Most would argue otherwise. Around Yggdrasil headquarters, ad boards and neon signs seemed to shift by the hour. Occasionally, a signboard vanished overnight, erased from the skyline as if it never existed. An echo park relocated to the outskirts, and from its ruins, a new skyscraper rose, devouring the space where trees and vines once grew. Too many. These were signs of progress, proof that this so-called City of Miracles was still alive, still evolving. But ever since Yggdrasil and the military announced the end of the Javosis crisis, what hadn't changed loomed far larger than what had. Like that underground cult we took down not long ago. Strip away the gleaming veneer of prosperity, and what lay beneath began to show its true nature.
部長。部長？
Bucho, Chief, what's wrong? A hand waved suddenly in front of my face, pulling me back from the blur of neon streaking past the window.
何見ているんですか？面白いものでもありました？
Omoshiroi? What are you staring at? See something interesting? She leaned in without warning, practically halfway into my seat. You might want to ease up on the snacks. They're taking up half my seat. With her weight came a curtain of soft hair brushing my cheek, carrying a faint scent of jasmine.
さすがに失礼ですよ、部長。
Sasuga... I want to hear that again.
さすがに失礼ですよ、部長。
Sasuga ni...
さすがに失礼ですよ、部長。
Shitsure. Sasuga ni shitsure. Didn't you say I didn't have to hold back around you?
それとこれとは別で
That's not what I meant, and you know it. She fell quiet halfway through her retort.
部長あそこで燃えてるのって
Chief, that fire. Could it be? She shifted aside, giving me a clear view through the window. Far off in the distance, beneath the sweep of searchlights, a thick column of smoke billowed skyward, directly in front of Midgard's tallest landmark, Yggdrasil headquarters. The fire alone wouldn't be enough to threaten a structure that size, but the swarm of security department agents rushing in, that told a different story. As I processed the scene, Luna's terminal lit up, alert after alert chiming in rapid
安
succession.
全部の当番と会社にいる他部門責任者からのメッセージです
Buzz fast, reports are coming in from security and other department heads. Send word. Lock down the perimeter until I speak with the boss. If there are any injuries, direct them to the nearest hospital. Do not bring them back inside Yggdrasil.
わかりました
Wakarimashita, understood. Luna gave a sharp nod and summoned her holographic display. With her eyes closed, streams of text flickered to life across the screen, and in seconds, dozens of replies were dispatched.
送信完了しました
All done, Chief. In this era, bionic augmentation is nothing unusual. But Luna fell on the more radical end of the spectrum. The implant at the base of her skull links directly to her terminal, letting her process data at blistering speeds. Even so, handling this many requests so efficiently is still impressive. One of the reasons I trusted her with so much. Alright, prep for landing. The hovercraft touched down in a smooth glide atop the rooftop pad. Without a word, Luna and I headed straight for the private elevator. It dropped fast, and within moments, we arrived at the floor housing the command room. When the door slid open, what greeted me was not what I expected. Director Tao? I raised a brow, dragged a chair over without ceremony, and sat down. She looked like she was in her early 30s at most. But in fact, she was on Yggdrasil's board of directors and responsible for its two most critical programs, AI development and the Balder inhibitor. Of all the directors, Tao was the only one still conducting hands-on research. She avoided routine meetings and public appearances. We rarely crossed paths. Luckily, the person standing beside her was someone I did know. So this tiny tot was here the whole time. Caroline von Stauffenberg, Tao's current executive assistant. She'd once been a frontline operative until an injury moved her into administrative work. Like me, she worked closely with the directors, and over time, we developed a quiet rapport. Sometimes we trade stories about internal politics, just to stay sane. She caught the look in my eyes and gave a tiny nod. Silent cue. Listen first, speak later.
急に呼び出してすみません
Better apologize. A standard pleasantry. But from her flat, clinical voice, it sounded more like a line from a briefing report. Just doing my job.
先に言っておきますが本日の件は極秘事項のためできるだけ信頼できる方のみを同行させるようお願いします
What I need you to understand first is this. What we're dealing with today is highly sensitive. Top clearance only involve personnel you
開発部
trust.
関連の件ではありますが秘密保持のため私から直々に説明を行います
This matter pertains strictly to the R&D department. I'm briefing you directly for reasons of confidentiality. I gave a silent nod, but something about her phrasing triggered a quiet alarm in the back of my mind. The way she said it, it almost implied the other directors weren't in the loop. Rumors of friction among the board weren't new, but I'd always made it a point to steer clear of the internal politics. So long as things stayed cordial among the board, I still had room to climb. But if it ever came to picking sides, there'd be no safe place to stand. I stayed quiet. Tao continued.
では、エッダについて
What do you
どこまで知
know
っていま
about
すか？
ETA? ETA? An AI system developed by Yggdrasil to assist with Balder inhibitor research. Its mainframe is currently housed aboard the Mistletoe Station.
はい、結構です。
Hoi, kekko desu. So I assume kekko means enough.
宇宙ステーションにいるエッダのアップデートとメンテナンスを行うときは、人員と設備を宇宙に送らなければいけません。
Because it's stationed in orbit, any updates or maintenance require launching both hardware and personnel. With a flick of her wrist, Tao signaled Caroline. The assistant stepped forward and handed me a printed photo. A chip? The moment I saw the photo, a hunch took hold. This is an upgrade module for ETA, isn't it?
ええ、社内では6番チップと呼ばれています。
Internally, we refer to it as chip number
エッダの
6.
処理能力を大きく向上させられるもので、我々にとって非常に大事なものです。
It's designed to enhance ETA's processing power by a full order of magnitude. Its importance to the company simply cannot be overstated. Sounds like this wasn't the first upgrade. What I didn't say out loud, not once, in all my time heading security, had I received any orders for a module like this. Tao caught my doubt immediately. She tapped the table once with a finger.
先ほど説明した通り、エッダに関することのため、チップの開発と輸送は開発部が直々に担当しています。開発部以外だと、社内外問わずチップのことを知る人はほぼいません。
As I mentioned, because it involves ETA, everything related to the chip's development and delivery was kept strictly within R&D. Very few people at Yggdrasil even knew of its existence, let alone outsiders. And now it's missing. The fire at the gate, Tao's atypical tension. It wasn't hard to connect the dots. I'm glad he gets it. I've watched a lot of anime where shit like this happens and the main character's got no clue. He can't connect the dots at all. I'm really happy the adjutant's like smart.
今回の件は正直偶然という
It
か
really was more of a coincidence. She was trying to soften the blow, ease me away from pushing Tao too hard, but Tao didn't let her.
偶然だとしても、私たちの落ち度です。
Coincidence or not, we were still negligent.
はい、おっしゃる通りです。
Osharu tori desu. You are right, ma'am.
カロリン、事件の詳細を説明してあげてください。
Fill him in.
わかりました。では、こちらをご覧ください。
Please take a look at this. She handed me another photo, this time showing a compact memory unit.
こちら、
So a
会社に所
USB.
属している研究者のメモリです。中には、彼女が独自で開発したプログラム、火種システムが入っています。
This belonged to one of our researchers. It contains a program she developed herself, codenamed Ember. A name far more evocative than chip number 6.
彼女によると、火種を使えば、一般の方でも楽々と人工知能を用いて、プログラムのカスタマイズを行えるため、機械の使用難易度が大きく下がる、だそうです。
According to her, the system allows anyone, even someone with no technical expertise, to build custom routines with AI. It drastically lowers the barrier to operating advanced...
あ、
Oops,
ルナ
I
が
should
使
have
用し
finished
ている
that.
機体も、火種に接続すれば、訓練なしで使いこなせるようになります。
Take Luna's augmentation implants, for example. With the Ember system, even a layperson could manage them with ease. At the unexpected mention of her name, Luna blinked once, then gave an acknowledging
とに
nod.
かく、このシステムは、先日ベータ版がローンチされ、民間から注目を集めています。
In short, we released a test version not long ago. The public took notice almost
する
immediately.
と、 人工知能反対団体の人が訪ねてきて、火種は違法活動に利用される可能性が高いため、廃棄すべきだと訴えかけてきました。
But so did an anti-AI group. They claimed the Ember system posed a security risk, that it could be exploited for illegal purposes, and demanded Yggdrasil pull the plug.
人工知能であれば何でも反対するような方たちなので、会社側はもちろん了承しませんでした。
Naturally, we ignored them. Those people oppose anything involving AI regardless of its merits. Caroline let out a quiet sigh.
ですが今日火種のメモリを乗せた輸送車が会社付近でカージャックに遭い、メモリもボートたちに奪われてしまいました。
So, earlier today, the vehicle transporting the memory unit containing the Ember system was ambushed just outside company grounds. The attackers made off with the payload.
6番チップを乗せた輸送車はその車の後ろについていました。目的地は全く違うのに、会社のロゴがあるだけで無差別に襲われて。
So, as luck would have it, the vehicle carrying chip number 6 was right behind. The convoys had completely different destinations, but anything bearing Yggdrasil's insignia became their
チ
target.
ップもメモリも行方不明になりました。
So now both the chip and the memory unit are
人工知
missing.
能反対団体は6番チップの価値についてよく知らないはずなので、大げさに捜索を始めるとかえって気づかれてしまいます。
As far as we can tell, the anti-AI group doesn't yet realize the true value of chip number 6. If we go public with the search, we risk tipping them
チ
off.
ップ紛失による損失は会社には手に負えないので、できるだけ早くかつ安全に解決してください。
Losing that chip is not an option, which is why we need you on this, fast and quiet.
それのために最大限の予算とサポートを提供いたします。
Oh, full operational freedom and budget. As if on cue, Caroline produced a magnetic card. Jet black, only with Yggdrasil's logo. But as she said, with this, I could mobilize near limitless
会社は
resources.
昔からあなたのことを有能だと認めています。
I feel like they're expecting a lot.
3
3 days to
チップを
recover the
取り戻
chip.
してください。
みこって
Nikotte, so... Nikotte. Luna glanced at me, hesitant. But I didn't take my eyes off Tao. Understood. I slipped the keycard into my coat. I knew clearly, this wasn't a request. Refusal was never on the table. All I could do now was figure out how to turn this sudden, temporary authority into a stepping stone toward a better future. As for recovering the chip, that was just part of the job. Alright, and we've been at this for over 3 hours now, so I'm gonna be heading out. James and Tin Can, thank you guys for joining me. Let me first grab all of these daily things that I get. And then we're gonna grab the Supernova. And we're gonna grab that. And go here. Claim all of these. And then... events. No, I don't think there's any need for that. We'll go... oh, tasks. Claim all the tasks. Target. So before I head out, really quick, I don't think... yeah, I still unlock this. Guy Anime, you literally just reached me as I'm getting to the end of my stream. Oh man. The game's going well. I still can't access Legacy mode. I have to finish all of this, so I'm 95% complete with part 2. Thank you for watching, James. I appreciate you. He just came here to check it out. Well, it was good. It was good having you pop in very briefly. Before I go, I'll let you guys get my cat. Never mind. You're not gonna get the cat. It's right there. You guys see him? This is your farewell. You guys get to see my cat. Tin Can, James, thank you for joining me. Dianime, let's go cat. Let's go cat. Nike. See that he responds. He knows his name. Hey buddy. No, there is no 24/7 cat stream. Fortunately. He comes. He comes when he wants to. And then disappears like the wind. Honestly speaking, I've been trying to get him on the stream, and I don't think I've managed to get him into a stream since that first time when he just when he just slept over on his little cat tree that I installed for the sole purpose of having him on my stream. But yeah, anyways, I will see you guys later. You will have a great rest of your Tuesday. I will be back on Monday. I'm probably going to be doing a stream every day just so I can get this out of the way. So you guys will get more of this. Hopefully by the end of the week. I will have finished. Hopefully by the end of the week, I will have finished the story that they need me to finish before I can do the legacy, so I can actually go back and, start from chapter 1 instead of part 2 of chapter 14. Anime, you take care of yourself. Tin Can, you as well. James, thanks for joining me. I think you might be my only only person on X who's talked to me in a while. I think the last time was Milk. All right. Peace out, you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let me put on some music really quick. Just so you got some good closing theme songs. This is the ending theme song. I don't know what it is. It's random. We're going to randomize it. There we go.